Hello, folks. My name is Chris. Welcome to this live stream. I am going to attempt something completely different today, folks. I'm going to draw, and if that's all it is, fantastic. We'll have the chat room, we'll have me drawing, and we'll just hang out. This was not announced, so not many people will know that I'm doing this, but I've got a crazy idea. There are always folks out there looking to promote their comics, their independent comics, and their Kickstarter projects or their self-published books, their small press things, maybe even something mainstream, and that's fine. I thought, if you're brave enough, here's the link. You can join this live stream if you have something to promote. I'll give you a few minutes. Maybe it'll be popular, and there'll be a bunch of folks in the green room that I have to sort of have wait. Or maybe only one or two people will be brave. Maybe no people will be brave enough. I really don't know what to expect. It's impromptu. In the meantime, we'll just see what happens. But hello to the folks that are jumping in. And, if it takes off, it could be something fun to do every once in a while just to help give a voice to folks out there that are looking to promote their projects. I know, having done just the Vampirella cover for myself, it's really hard to amplify your signal and get it out to new people. Well, that's at least what I'm putting out here, So if you've got something that you want to promote and you've got a camera and audio, feel free to type this invitation link in. You'll go into the green room, and if somebody shows up, I'll give you a few minutes. Maybe it'll be awkward depending on our vibe, or maybe it'll go really great and we'll make some new friends. Who knows? In the meantime, oh yes, actually, there's a question. I have played Infamous Second Son. In fact, my good friend Chuck was the guy that did all the stuff on that game, your health bar and your lives and all that stuff, like that GUI. And I helped coordinate getting Phoenix Jones into the posters in that game. Hey, well, I didn't necessarily expect this, but there's already somebody here. Steve, I'm inviting you in. So here we go. Hi, Steve. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you. How you can hear me?
I can hear you, and I can even hear somebody in the background there that sounds hungry.
Yeah, my kid brought a friend home from school today, so they're going to work in the garden right now.
Well, thank you for being brave enough to join me for something a little different here. So tell me, do you have a comic or a project that you're promoting?
Yeah, I do actually.
What is it? I can always bring up a screen here.
Okay, I'm gonna try and pop a link into the chat here, but I made a children's comic a little while ago. Yeah,
what inspired you?
What inspired me? It was kind of a therapy project. There were a couple things. It was during the pandemic. I had been furloughed, and that turned into a layoff. So I was getting unemployment, and
sure.
And I had a lot of time and a lot of thoughts, and my kid at home. I'm a single parent, and this was something that I sort of started playing with this idea before COVID even happened, but it's called Major Lele, and it is
Major Lele.
Yeah, like Ley. My kid actually came up with the name, but it's a kids comic about I think I
see it already. It's on Amazon. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Then I'm going to bring up something so that the folks that are watching this show can see what you're doing. I'd be happy to amplify this. Hello back there. Don't worry. This is very loose and informal, but we're gonna.
This is my buddy. He does a lot of comic book reviews online. I'm talking to him about Major Lele.
No, I need
You're gonna look at Major Lele. There we go. Hey, that's some nice colors.
Thank you. Yeah, I painted everything. I got into watercolor stuff first, but
Don't worry about that.
You're gonna miss the cool phenomenon.
Okay, I'm gonna go check out the cool phenomenon. I'm gonna come back, and if somebody else wants to take the limelight, that's
fair enough, Steve. I appreciate you promoting your project. We're always happy to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Family comes first.
Yes, sir.
Tell you what, I've got somebody else that's already in the queue. So give me a moment here, and we'll take a look at somebody else. But hello to Chaz Warlock.
Hey!
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm a big fan of your show, dude.
Well, that's very kind of you. What are you inspired here to talk about? What can we hear from you? This is your moment to shine.
All right, I have this idea for an ongoing series of a comic.
Okay.
And it's basically sort of a combination between Invincible and Thunderbolts. You talk about the Thunderbolts on your show,
Sure.
right? Yeah, so basically, it's about the teenage children of supervillains banding together and becoming superheroes.
Okay.
And I even have like a couple of I have a drawing of the main cast if you want to see that.
Of course. Yeah. You got it in front of you or something? Oh, all right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what we've got here.
You got the character right there. We got Friction 15. We got Metamorphosis, Tigerhawk, Ryu, and Piranha. Each of them is the children of supervillains. This one's actually a clone of a superhero, but it's made by a mad scientist, so it kind of works. But each of them has their own sort of backstory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so the series would initially explore themes of trauma and banding together and trying to be good people despite coming from a not so good background.
Okay. What inspired you to start making a comic book?
I just love comics, man.
Hold on. You might be breaking up a little. Okay, there we go.
Sorry. I just really love comics. It's one of my I really like series like Teen Titans.
Okay. Teen Titans, did you say?
Yeah,
Okay.
And,
how about Runaways?
Runaways, I read the first one. I read the first trade paperback. I thought it was pretty good.
What would make yours a little different from Runaways? Help us understand your idea a little.
Well, I mean, it's about, I'm not really sure how exactly they get together, but
okay,
at some point they're going to be brought together by a director of some sort of a shield agency who used to be a sort of sidekick, but who now grew up into the head of a giant organization, and he's going to try and help these people do better.
Well, that's nice. That's a super positive message. And do you want to write it, draw it? Like what part do you plan on handling?
I feel like I do better at writing because I don't draw consistently. I do it, but I don't really have the enough stamina to keep at it if I was to do an ongoing series.
Well, I hope you knuckle down and I don't know, how far along are you? Do you have a script yet, or is it just like you're building the world? Where are you at?
I'm building, sort of trying to build a world of sorts. I have an idea of what kind of world I want to do it in.
Yeah.
But I'm still getting the fine details in there.
Well, I can understand that. I used to teach a writing for comics class for a couple years when I lived out in the DC area. And I would always give this recommendation. If it's helpful, you can feel free to ignore me, but give some real thought to story structure in terms of who is the main character and what do they want and what's keeping them from achieving that goal. And if they can go through a journey where that journey either changes them or changes how they think, that's where you create the drama and the conflict of a story. So you've got some great world building. I love the names. I would just encourage you to start like banging out a 3-act structure and see where that takes you, right?
Okay, I see. I'll keep that in mind, Chris. Thanks.
Hey, I wish you all the luck in the world. I think it's very brave of anybody to jump in here with a complete stranger and pitch their idea to the world. Do you have a title for it yet that we can keep an eye out for, Chaz?
I'm sort of flipping between ideas, but the main one right now is called The Redemptors.
The Redemptors.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anywhere that you'd like people to like follow anything that you're doing, like in terms of social media or anything like that?
I go by Chaz Warlock on Twitter.
That makes sense.
I mostly just repost stuff about this indie show called Epithet Erased, but
well, you're getting a lot of positive comments in the comments, people that are encouraging you to go and thanking you for sharing, and I thank you too. I want you to be a success. If you hack away at it and not knock out a script, we'll have to do another one of these and see get an update. Well, that would be a fun journey. Get updates from you.
All right then. I'm pretty soon graduating from high school and going into college, but
congratulations.
Thanks. It's great talking.
It's awesome talking to you, Chaz. I wish you every success and thank you very much for jumping in. It's nice talking to you, man.
Nice talking to you too.
That's exactly what I'm looking for here. That's so nice. Let's see. I think our first guest, Steve, might be back. And Sad Kun, if you want to just type in this address here, you can go into the green room and we will be able to add you into the discussion as I go through folks. So let's see. Steve, you're back? Wait, you're muted right now. There we go.
I got the Power Rangers back here too because
I can see that. Congrats on getting such big guests. I mean, all 6 of the original Power Rangers. That's beyond my capabilities, but apparently not Steve's.
Friends in high places, man. What can I say?
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
While you were tending to your family affairs, it looks like I found this.
Yeah, I was trying to post the link, but I realized what boundaries exist with the.
Well, I'm able to share things, so I put that up, and so there you've got your Major Lele, which you said was a project you worked on during the pandemic. You've got, I see on your website, like a description of it and stuff like that. When did this get released to places like Amazon and that?
I put it on Amazon in 2021. So what had happened was my wife passed away in 2019, and this sort of was my kind of therapeutic exercise in like just raising a kid, like in that situation. So the story's about a little girl whose mom's an astronaut, and she's out in space. So she steals a spaceship to go find her, and then like Chloe is that robot there, and then she's gonna make another friend with a space chimp that she runs across named Max. Those names actually came from some family dogs. Hey, come on, be polite.
It's all good.
She got the red teeth that you had in your last pros and cons. I took her to the store on Free Comic Book Day, so she got a little thing. But that's sort of what all this was like a personal project for therapy. And hey, girls. Oh yeah, look at Chris.
I just want to join in. Looked like fun.
Over here.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. You've got some rascals there. But I take it they're on some level your inspiration.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is Monroe is mine, and okay, I won't. The other one is her friend from school that we're just hanging out with, gardening with. But Yeah, that's what I got. I just wanted to sing your praises a little bit because back then it was a lot of comic tropes. So when I was doing all my research online, I mean, like I struggle with my attention. So YouTube and having these like 20-minute videos that can give me a little bit of an education became a huge asset. And I found you at the same time as cartoonist kayfabe and a few other ones, and just a big round of applause for you as far as the information and background that I was able to find because you were putting it out there in kind of those early phases of teaching myself how to make Major Lele.
That's so kind of you, but I really do sincerely love what I'm seeing here. You seem to work with a lot of the same materials that my wife does. My wife is a painter, and she works with gouache and stuff like that. But it looks like you've used a bunch of watercolor as well in some of these pages. I guess digital for like the lettering and stuff. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, I think I want. I took a class shortly after. I wanted the text to look handwritten, so I figured out how to take my handwriting and turn it into a font.
Yeah.
In Photoshop, and then everything was painted and then just sort of touched up for levels and curves and stuff like that with the digital tools. I took a class called Kids Comics Unite. In 2022, and that was really helpful. But one thing that kind of came out of that was that when I did this, because it was such a personal project, it didn't really have a target audience outside of myself. So what I did was I got a name from that class for an editor, and
smart.
Yeah, and he gave me some really great feedback, and he said, okay, like I see what you were talking about with like the lack of a target, because this is all something that you did for you and your kid very much. So I have
at the same time, I'll just say that like I think that that's a good starting point for a lot of this stuff, because if you're passionate about it and it works for you, I'm positive there's going to be other people that will also relate to it. Personally, I that's just what I believe in general when making a project.
No, I really appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, I love the color. I love the detail on the. There's a real solid structure to like the spaceships and the environments and stuff like that. Like I see a lot that I like about this, Steve.
Thank you.
What do you have next?
Well, so I have this written out to be a manuscript to eventually become like a full-size children's like middle grade graphic novel.
Smart. Huge audience there. Audience there. And I'm sure if you're talking to an editor, they can help target that.
I'm so grateful for the just having him come into my life and give me all of that guidance. It was great. Sorry, I don't want to take up too much time from anybody else that wants to share, but
Steve, I appreciate you sharing this. The project, folks, is Major Lele. It looks like an all-ages sci-fi adventure. A little bit of serious stuff in there, but some really beautiful art. And like we said at the beginning, it's on Amazon.
Yeah, I appreciate you. My YouTube profile is Rooster Blue. So whenever comments coming in from Rooster Blue, tapping into your live feeds and all that, that's this guy.
Awesome. Steve, thank you. I'm going to move on because we do have some more guests, but I wish you every success.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Let's see. We have our next guest, Allan. Surprise.
How are you doing today?
You're live. How are you? I'm doing very well.
Good. Glad to hear it, man. Thanks for doing this. This is fun.
It just seemed like a fun idea. It's just pretty impromptu, but tell us a little bit about what you're working on creatively.
So you have these in your PO box, which is another really cool thing that you do.
Okay.
So I appreciate that, but I work in cybersecurity, and I do ransomware incident response. And I'm on a plane.
You're talking, like this stuff like where people can get scammed online where to calling like a call center in Nigeria or India or something?
This is more for companies. Like, a hacker will break in, they'll encrypt their files, and then demand $1 million to decrypt the files.
Got it. Thank you.
Wow. And so I'm on a plane all the time, flying around the world. Growing up, I loved old time radio and still love old time radio.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite show was yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
I don't know.
And very obscure. You probably weren't around from 1949 to 1962 when it ran. But there's 800 episodes. And so I used to listen to it on the plane. I still listen to it on the plane all the time while I'm working on a report because it's like comfort food, right?
Sure.
And Johnny was a freelance insurance investigator. And his handle was the man with the action-packed expense account, which young me had no idea what that is. Old me is painfully familiar. So what we did was we made a comic book where we turned him into a freelance cyber insurance investigator who deals with ransomware attacks.
All right.
And then we made a second one and a third one.
I can see that. Holy moly, you've created quite a bit.
Yeah. So, and so what you see there, and that the anthology is not going to be released until the 21st or 22nd. But that is a cybersecurity anthology. So a bunch of people were really in the cybersecurity community were really supportive of the comic book. Bibber McGee and Molly was a great radio broadcast like that. And so we put together an anthology from people in the cybersecurity community as well to who wanted to tell their stories in other ways. And we paid everybody for for their art and everything. And so for a lot of them, it was the first time they'd ever gotten paid to be an artist. And so that book is at the printer now. But we've had a lot of really interesting success with this because that intersection of people that are into cybersecurity and then also know old-time radio is not very big. That's a very small Venn diagram.
What is the cross-section there? I'm wondering. But you know what? At the same time, if it inspired something within you, then maybe you'll help those two different worlds start to cross over themselves through this.
and we have. I mean, we've gotten so many people in cybersecurity that now listen to this, and it's also given me a chance to work with some amazing people. Like I grew up, you're seeing the Keith Williams cover. I grew up reading Keith Williams, The Phantom, and his Spider-Man, and so having him do covers for me has been just really amazing. And for the fourth issue, the final issue, which we're going to launch the Kickstarter for toward the end of this month. Okay. We've got even more really cool people doing covers for us and stuff like that. And it's been an incredible journey. And I don't know about you, but I also really appreciate how supportive my wife has been in this, because when I went to her and I said, hey, I'm going to take some money out of our savings to make a comic book, she didn't just smack me in the back of the head and tell me to stop being dumb. And, that's been, incredibly helpful. But I love being able to tell these kind of stories through the lens of this sort of pulp noir character. And that's been, for me, that's been really fun.
That's so cool. How's the response been? Are you creating a community for yourself?
We are. Yeah. I mean, it's a small community still. But with every Kickstarter, we get a few more and we're slowly building the mailing list. And, we just, the world's largest cybersecurity conference was just held in San Francisco this past week, and they had our comic books in their bookstore. So
that's a feather in the cap, right?
Yeah. So I live in Virginia, and our local comic book shop also carries our books. So for 4 whole days, we were available coast to coast.
I used to live in Northern Virginia. Whereabouts do you live?
I live in Herndon.
In where?
Herndon.
Oh yeah, Herndon. I know Herndon.
Where do you live?
Shop. Let's promote him.
Oh, Comic Logic in Ashburn.
Comic Logic in Ashburn?
Yeah,
Very
Comic
nice.
Logic, amazing. Rob, who runs the store, is so incredibly supportive of local artists. He's got a shelf just full of the local artists, and
I love that.
He buys the books. He doesn't do it on, right, exactly. It's not, I'm going to put them in the store, and if they sell, then you'll get paid. He buys them outright, which
you know what, Alan? Who cares if they sell? You've already made your sale. That's his problem.
But I want him to be successful too, because he's been so supportive.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. But that's fantastic. So you've got, like you said, the 4th issue of Johnny Dollar is about to go up on Kickstarter.
Yeah, it'll go up at the end of the month.
And what do you put that under? Like, if people just look up Johnny Dollar, do they find it?
Yeah, because we're the only Johnny Dollar on Kickstarter. Knock on wood. At least we've been so far. So yeah, if they look it up on Kickstarter, they'll find it. Like I said, toward the end of the month. But it's been a great experience. We have 2 more comics that we're working on. The Clock, which you see up there right now, that's a web series, but we're turning it into a floppy. And she's the world's only NTP powered superhero.
Wait, where is that?
Up at the top of the menus.
Is that based on the Golden Age character?
Yeah. Except, so the one thing I didn't like about the Golden Age character of the Clock was that he didn't have any time powers.
No.
So we kept the cane. We kept the cane. We kept the darts, the sleeping darts, and she uses the power of NTP to move around, which is the network time protocol, and I won't explain that because it'll put everybody to sleep. But it's a really obscure protocol that syncs all the clocks in the world, but she can ride that to basically go anywhere, and then her only weakness is a Faraday cage, which blocks out all the traffic.
You've got some good mythology there.
Right, exactly. So, yeah. Well, I know you've got a lot of people waiting in line, and I don't want to hold it up, but thank you for doing this. This is really cool.
Happy to talk to you, Alan, and I hope folks check out your site. And again, here, I'll just throw it up one last time in case folks are curious. You can get his stuff here. It looks like it's greenarcher.io, and then you've got Green Archer comics with all these different categories. Great website, very easy to navigate. That was very easy to pull your stuff up and find you right away. So congrats, Alan.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Happy to talk to you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, let's see here. Let me get to, it looks like the next person we've got in order is Melvin number 2. That's an interesting name. Let me add you, Melvin. Melvin, you're muted right now, but welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I am fantastic.
What brings you in? I'm pulling up. I think
a friend of mine suggested
right now.
A friend of mine, he suggested that I hop on. Yes, I am. Melvin number 1 and number 2 special editions are available on Walmart, Amazon, and Barnes and Noble through Critical Blast. If you know who RJ is, are you familiar with RJ?
I don't know RJ. I'm sorry. What's RJ?
RJ, he runs Critical Blast. He's got the YouTube channel. He He does fulfilling, and I think he's gotten into publishing.
Okay.
So I'm kind of getting off the crowdfunding thing and trying to get more into just putting the books together and selling them. Or getting them published through RJ, and all I have to do is promote the book.
All you have to do. Isn't that crazy how much writers and artists have to pimp their own stuff these days?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like having somebody distribute the book for you, and all you gotta do is promote it.
Absolutely,
it's a huge weight off shoulders. Now, Melvin is a mercenary hired to save a princess from a dangerous cult. There's a lot of influence from like Edgar Rice Burroughs in it.
Oh, okay. So we've got some old Pulp Fiction tropes that are played on.
Oh yeah, and I kind of like I'm trying. Biggest influence would have to be like early '90s Image.
Yeah, I think that there's a whole generation of us that were inspired by that. So I totally understand that. Tell me this. I'm looking at your book here, and it says down here, like on the Amazon link, special edition. What makes it the special edition? Help me understand.
Well, originally they were just going to be printed as is, and unfortunately something happened to where we had to remove a certain artist's work from the book. So the biggest change will be Melvin 2 special edition, which we literally had to change the cover, and we literally had to like 12 pages out of the whole thing. But it's still it's even more fantastic than originally.
Well, that's pretty impressive. So let's see. It looks like this first one, it says came out February 20th, and you've already got the second issue ready to go.
Yeah, because like the original versions came out like, was it like 3 years ago was the first issue, and then like the year after the second issue, the crowdfunding versions.
Yeah. Oh, you did do this originally crowdfunded?
Yeah, originally it was on Indiegogo, both
Indiegogo.
And then
how was your experience with that compared to getting a publisher to sort of handle things for you?
Honestly, it was I mean, that like the pace is just the same. I can just sell these books like continuously. There's no time limit.
Right. That makes sense. I like that. So is this print on demand basically?
I think that's how he's doing it.
That's pretty cool. Sorry, I was just looking at a couple comments, of course.
Oh yeah.
But like what was beyond sort of like the 90s comics? Like what actually pushed you to say like, not only do I like comics, I've got to make my own. Like what was there any sort of inciting incident that finally like pushed you to go like, all right, I got to just do it. I got to pull the trigger on this.
Well, back in the day, there really wasn't. Everybody was interested in buying comic books and collecting them, but nobody was into actually making them.
Sure.
And so like all of a sudden, like your boy Zach is like making his own thing and putting it out there, and like there's a whole bunch of people just like me doing it now.
Well, I think that that's really impressive. So I just have you here as Melvin, but who am I talking to? Is this?
My name is Timothy Lee Olson.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to make an assumption.
Yeah.
Let's see. What happens if I click your name? Are there any other books here? Oh, there we go. Melvin 2 special edition is there.
Yep. Now Melvin 2 is really is like it gets elevated, like leveling up. Rob Ewing stepped in and replaced the pages, the brand new cover and whatnot, and it just kind of gave a new breath of life to this.
38 pages. That's not always like the most common number of pages.
But the second issue.
How'd you end up with 38 pages instead of like 24, 48, something like that?
We had to add to it to kind of pad it out. So there's a lot of extra pages at the end, like of just like art.
I think that that's cool. I like getting that kind of special edition stuff. I was just kind of curious how you ended up with that. That's a little unique, but yeah, cool. You've made this very accessible in terms of if this speaks to somebody, super easy for them to pick it up. You said that it was obviously I'm showing it here on Amazon, but you said Walmart too, and where else?
Walmart and Barnes and Noble.
And
I think Powell's too, but I don't really push the Powell's one as much because nobody really knows that bookstore chain.
Are you talking about the one that's based out of Oregon?
Yeah, the one that's like 2 stories.
Yeah, I love that place. That's fantastic to get there. I love that store. Anytime I get to talk it up, I'm happy to. So
it's off the websites, so it's not actually at the store, but they can order it for you. Well, second issue is like basically they're going back to the hidden city. Their ship crashes. In order to get the parts they need to fix it, they have to save the town from the cult.
Okay.
Which is kind of like my take on how I view the left these days.
Your view of the what?
The left. Kind of the left, you had the kind of like the with the riots and stuff, and it's like it's kind of like a cult. They're just mindlessly burning things down for what?
I don't know if you're on the right show for that, based on where I am, but that's okay. We can still appreciate the medium of comics, and I'm happy to give you a platform.
Well, I mean, look at it this way: like there's bad on both sides of the thing.
I'll agree with you there. Trust me.
Yeah, anyway. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry about anything. I'm giving people this platform. I still wish you every success. It's not easy to get a comic book or to promote it. If I can help give people a little bit of a platform, I'm happy to do that. I hope you find your audience with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Good talking to you. I'm going to move on, but every success to you, Timothy.
Yep. All right. Have a good day.
You too. Moving on. It looks like we've got now. Hold on. Nicolas Cage. I love that name. Who am I speaking to? What should
it's
I call
a play
you?
on Nicolas Cage.
I got that. I did get that, but thank you.
Well, yeah. My name is Ricardo Maulini. I normally go by Ricky. And I wanted to come on here to present basically a fan project that I've been working on, and it's
tell us
specifically to a Lucasfilm franchise.
Oh, okay. Which one?
And I'm Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Love
Yes,
Indiana. Love Indiana
and
Jones.
I felt like it has not been in a lot of light lately because it's been overshadowed by Star Wars. And I wanted to go out and basically bring out this idea that I've had for a really, really long time. And I have two specific art pieces that I did want to show you today, if I can pull them up real quick.
Go for it.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous right now. I have extreme anxiety.
Don't be nervous. I'm just a guy. I'm nobody.
So I'm going to share my Discord right here. And I'm going to show you
okay.
my first image here. Did
you make this?
I did make this, and my friend did the coloring, and I did the pencils.
That's not bad.
Now, the story for this is rather interesting because it's not like any other typical Indiana Jones story.
How so?
Specifically with this one takes place very, very, very early in Henry Jones Jr.'s career, where basically he is getting to know himself as an archaeologist. He's coming into his jonesing stage. Whenever I say jonesing, I mean it's like whenever he does cool stunts and he's like going through caves and stuff.
Sure.
This is basically the bridge between the 90s TV series, which was the Young Indiana Jones series made by George Lucas.
I remember.
Yeah.
Very educational.
Before Temple of Doom, which is a prequel that takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark. So this one is kind of like to bridge the gap because there's a lot of gray area in the middle of the 1920s, right? Yeah. And I wanted to do a motion comic specifically for this. And I wanted to have a Drew Struzan-esque poster or like cover for it.
Sure.
So this is the cover for it. And basically the basis of it is that it takes place in 1926 and in 1918. So in 1918, there's like a whole opening prologue sequence, kind of like the new Indiana Jones movie, but this time it takes place in World War I with a 19-year-old Indiana Jones who basically is going through the trenches of war and comes across a church where there is a very, very precious like crucifix artifact, kind of like the Cross of Coronado from Last Crusade. Now, with this, the main villain, who is, of course, a fascist Nazi, is basically, he had a scuffle with Indiana Jones in the past where he bested him in combat, and turns out he got hit in the face by a giant church bell. And
happens.
Yeah. And Indy basically escapes, leaves with the artifact, and then it shifts over to Indiana Jones in a speakeasy facing off against Al Capone, trying to save Marion Ravenwood from them because, of course, she's younger and she got into drinking real early. So, Indy, of course, has to go and save her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to go and save her from basically getting killed by Al Capone and the gangsters. And there's a huge motorcycle sequence, as you can see on the poster towards the bottom. Yeah. Indiana Jones in a bow tie and a black trench coat, which is a very interesting concept that I don't think a lot of Indiana Jones has done with a trench coat. And a whole motorcycle sequence that is basically escaping the gangsters. And it goes a little bit further ahead into Mayan mythology, specifically with the mask that you see in the center, which I did base off of the mask from Red Dead Redemption. I just turned it gold. But basically,
hey, if we're using Lucasfilm, we may as well throw in some Rockstar intellectual property as well.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, this one right here, I called it, it's a fictional artifact, but I wanted to try to go for a some sort of pagan, like a pagan origins, and it's I refer to it as the Mask of Mephistopheles. Yeah.
Well, let me pause real quick, Rick, and say like you should keep some of this, I think, to yourself, so that like the whole story isn't given away, right?
Well, I'm just giving it a little touch because there's a lot of things that happen at the end that are absolutely insane.
Okay.
Yeah. So like,
well, let me ask this too, though. As long as let me just interrupt. It's my
sorry,
show.
I yap a lot.
I'm just being a jerk. Let me ask this. Where Indiana Jones is based off of all these like pulp serials from like the 1930s and 40s and stuff, have you considered at all just turning it into your own idea so that you could just publish it? Have you thought about that at all?
I have, and I've kind of had like the thing is that I have such a connection with Indiana Jones. It's like my
it's a great,
I mean, I have like a picture
character
up here. My 7th birthday was an Indiana Jones birthday party, and I'm 21 now.
That's awesome.
So it's always been a part of my life for many, many years. And I just felt like if I could I added credits on the bottom. I know that's kind of like a copyright thing, but I would remove it afterward.
Yeah.
But that's just for like, if I want to have a poster in my room and hang it up and say, hey, look, it looks like one of the movie posters, right?
I think you've done a nice job on this poster that you and your friend that colored it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's I'm an aspiring graphic designer, and I made sure to put things together. I did put my handle on my name right there for my graphic design account. I've been posting a couple of artworks, and
What's that, on,
specifically
like Instagram or something.
Yes, sir. It's on Instagram.
Designs of Destiny. Yeah. Even that sounds like a play on something that would appear in Indiana Jones.
Right. So I kind of base it off of the new movie, The Dial of Destiny, and I just said, I'll just put designs in there and then of Destiny, and then it would just be literally perfect. So that's what I kind of went ahead with.
Tell you what, you and I are going to team up, and we're going to do this as an audiobook, and I'm going to voice Indiana Jones. Okay, I'm going to here we go. This is my audition.
Here's my other one, by the way. This is another one.
Hey kid, this is you're the design of Destiny, but this is the Empire of Owls. It's perfect. Hey kid, listen, I want some jelly beans.
You just got to do like a really deep, nonchalant voice, and you got it. Add a little gravel in there.
Yeah, I loved the 5th one where, like, honestly, special effects for making Harrison Ford look young, fantastic. Sounds like still like an 80-year-old man.
Yeah, that's like my problem with everything. Like there's sometimes where the movie just it had layers and layers of just CGI, but I don't want to get too much into it because we're talking about comics.
I still found it fun. I like Indiana Jones a lot.
Yeah.
I wish that there was honestly more of a return to pulp adventure heroes like him. But yeah, This is also fun. There's the so they go to Paris even.
This one is actually not my idea. This is my friend's idea. He came up with a more Tim Burton-esque Indiana Jones. And this one takes place in Paris in 1940 after the Germans took over France.
That would be a cool place to put Indy, like behind enemy lines in France. I do like that idea.
And it starts there, and the entire adventure takes place in there. It's very small scale. Indy just like in that picture right below there. It's not completed yet, but I'm still working on it. This one specifically, you see him, walking through the catacombs under France, which I think is a really, really cool touch. I put Johnny Depp in there. Because I mean he's like the Tim Burton guy, like he's at all the 90s.
Has he worked with Tim Burton before?
I believe so. I think he did Edward Scissorhands.
That's right. I guess he did. That's a pretty obscure poll. Yeah, he might have done a second one with Tim Burton. Nobody knows. I'm
pretty sure he did Sleepy Hollow with Tim Burton as well.
Oh, there you go.
He's a Tim Burton guy. Oh, and he did Willy Wonka.
I know. He's done a million.
He's done so much, but I wanted to put this in here and put it out there. It's basically a very, very gloomy, eerie Tim Burton-esque Indiana Jones story that takes place in Paris. We don't really have much of it so far, but it's a lot more violent than the other ones. And it's Indiana Jones is a little bit older, like he's in his like earlier 40s. Still takes place before that scene in the beginning of the Dial of Destiny, Indiana Jones 5 movie. But this one's not really too much of my idea.
That's okay.
I haven't really come up too much with it, but basically the MacGuffin is that Indy is looking for a dragon that turns from stone, and then from a certain type of plot device, the dragon comes to life. It's a little bit more mystical.
Well, there's a lot of things that hint at Indiana Jones basically being a modern knight, so dragon thematically could work.
Right.
Well, I've got a few other folks in line, Ricky, but what else can people do to see what you come up with next? Like check out your Instagram there?
Yes, if any of you guys would like to check out my Instagram, it's right here on my name at the Designs of Destiny. I'm always posting different, picture covers, and eventually I'm going to start posting panels because I do have a couple of artists that I've been brainstorming with to come up with panels. And I'll basically just give a little bit of teases before we get the motion comic up on YouTube. It's not going to be monetized. I don't want to make money off of this. This is solely a passion project.
Well, I get that, but you know what? There's still lots that you can learn from doing passion projects. So I hope you take it as far as you want to take it. I hope you pick up some cool lessons along the way, and I appreciate you being brave enough to jump in and share with us.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. It was an adventure, kid. Take
Fortune and glory to you.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory. Take care. Let's see. We've got a couple more folks in here. I'll add. Oh, we've got 3 people. All right. Sad, S-A-A-D, or is that Sod? You're muted, but if you're there, feel free to tell us what you're working on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Person may not be there. We'll have to come back. Dead air is the worst thing you can possibly have. So instead, I'll switch over to Brer Rabbit in the Jazz Age, King Rex Comics.
Hi.
Who am I talking to there?
Oh, my name is Kyle. My name is not Brer Rabbit. Brer Rabbit in the Jazz Age is the name of the comic that I kickstarted last year.
Okay. You started the comic last year, you said? How did you
I kickstarted it last year.
You kickstarted it last year.
Mm-hmm.
How many issues? 1 issue?
1 issue for right now. Currently working on getting the art done for the 2nd issue.
How'd the first Kickstarter go for you? What was the experience like? Share with us.
It was actually pretty good. I got connections with a lot of different people. It got funded, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and I learned a lot about just putting stuff together, making little goodies for people. I made bookmarks, I made stickers and stuff like that.
Oh my God. Yeah. All the little extras that you're encouraged to do in a crowdfunding campaign, and then still make some money on all of it. Right.
Yeah.
Where can we, is your comic available to order anywhere online right now? The first issue or no?
Yes. Can I show my screen by pressing present? Is that how that works?
I think so. And then I think I can. Yeah, hit present and let me see if I've got the option of adding it.
Share screen and then allow.
Let me see.
Then entire screen and then allow. Is that right? You see this?
So hold on. There? Yeah, there we go.
You see it? Okay.
We all see it. Technology.
Yeah. Something works.
Look at this. Brer Rabbit in the Jazz Age, folks.
Yeah. So, are you aware of the folk character Brer Rabbit?
Oh yeah, I'm old enough that I think that Disney had re-released their version of Song of the South in theaters when I was little.
Ah, I see. Okay. Mine is not a Disney version. It is not for kids. It's Brer Rabbit in the Jazz Age. So it takes place in 1925 at the height of power for the Ku Klux Klan.
Yikes.
Former slaves are being slain, and where their bodies should be are just piles of salt. So some members of a local civil rights group get together, and they hire a sort of a detective shaman who goes by the name of Brer Rabbit. If you see the little sticker here, this is a bit of a cartoony version of him. I also have some.
Oh, good. You've got a lot of pages. Yeah.
Yeah. Show you guys some pages. This is
Did you draw this or write it or both?
I am not the artist. I wrote this, and then I pay people more talented than me to actually get the work done.
Kudos.
So the character here is Brer Rabbit, and his whole thing is he at least claims to be a shaman and claims to commune with the spirit of the folklore creature Brer Rabbit. So
that's fair.
Yeah, so he's like a Jazz Age Sherlock Holmes with a lot of African American folklore put in. So it basically goes on his journey, how he goes
I like
through.
that background.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the artists that I've had here are Eric Judson.
Yeah, talented.
And Zilson Costa. So this basically first issue. It's a number one in a continuing story that I plan to continuously put out. I think I'm planning like 12 issues, but this is also like one
really
self-contained
ambitious.
story. You could see it as like a pilot episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's smart. That's a good way to hook people, like letting them get a full story. But that's ambitious. So give us a quick idea. That's funny. Give us a quick idea of like what inspired you to do this as a comic as compared to a superhero, a biography, a crime story. Like what made this one the one that you're passionate about?
I really love a lot of the American history, a lot of it that doesn't get talked about and that gets covered up, and a lot of that involves Black history and the history of white supremacy in America. And I'm also very much into mythology and stuff. So anything from Christian mythology to African mythology, African American. And I noticed that African American was kind of one that doesn't really get talked about much. It's not that put forward. I mean, the most famous African American folk character is in The Song of the South. Yeah, and that is a absolutely reviled movie.
It's not great. It's pretty bad, folks. If you haven't seen it, then you're kind of lucky. There's a reason Disney doesn't really promote it anymore. It did not age well. No. But you're right. There's so much history that America has that should be talked about. And maybe it becomes more palatable when it's a fictional story, but still like is an entry point to learning about real things. Like, what happened when half of Tulsa got burned down, or just the New Orleans history with like, the inspirations of Haitian culture and stuff like that was just sort of like mostly stamped out over the years. That's really interesting to talk about.
I'm a big believer in, I guess, like gateway fiction, where it's like, maybe you won't get the exact historical record, but it sort of lets you kind of dip your toes in.
I get it. I do. I think that's a good idea. Did you just say, and I'm sorry, I'm talking over you a little. We've got a good vibe going here. Let's see. You said that you've got issue 2 going for crowdfunding soon?
I'm getting the art done. We're almost done getting the pages itself. Then, of course, I have to get the lettering done.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can work on Kickstarter. So I'm thinking the Kickstarter may be launching around this fall. It really depends on how everything lies.
I get that. And then, like, if people want to look that up or follow you, it's under King Rex Comics. Is that your social tag?
So King Rex Comics is actually my YouTube. So I promote it there. Let me actually show that really quick.
I can bring that up.
Yeah, King Rex Comics. If you see the the dinosaur in the background, that's me.
That is you. Look at that.
So I do video essays, reviews, and other stuff, just talking about comics and comic-related content. Yeah, I feel like if you go into like movie spaces or video game spaces, you get tons of video essays and these in-depth analyses. But I feel like in the comic space on YouTube, you don't get a ton of that. It's mostly like people who just talk about history or just talk about what happens in a comic. And I'm not knocking anybody who does that. I watch a ton of that. I do some of that as well. But there's a lot of places where I think some more like analysis is due. Like I have a whole thing on the Zack Snyder DCU trilogy. Yeah. Where I think it gets just a very unfairly maligned as I don't know, some sort of like fascist or reactionary or just like dumb. So
I'm going to watch some of these because, for instance, I really like the stuff by hold on, all of a sudden I'm forgetting his pen name for my friend Dahmer and Durf. Thank you. I'm just bad at names. Thank you. Yeah, there's a bunch of these are some really good thumbnails too, by the way. A lot of these are really good thumbnails.
Thank you. I actually got some advice from, if you know, on YouTube, Captain Midnight.
I don't know that person. I'm sorry. I'm so old.
It's cool. He does some comic related stuff, movie related stuff. He's also a independent comic creator.
Oh,
so I contributed to his Kickstarter, and he gave me some advice here.
Well, I'm very curious to check some of this out. So there's another place that people can obviously keep up to date with you, because I see that you also talk about some of your own projects here.
Yeah, usually I like to keep people updated through my YouTube.
That's a great idea. You've got your website here and stuff. This is awesome. Well, I wish you success. I think it's a strong idea to cover as a comic book. I hope that we see issue 2 very soon.
I hope so too. And I just want to say I've watched you for years. I think your videos are great, and it was a really cool opportunity to talk to you.
I'm happy to do it, and I hope that we get some new eyeballs on your projects. Okay, get you some subscribers.
Okay,
take care.
Thank you.
We've got a queue, so I'm going to keep moving on. Chris, get ready.
Okay.
There we are.
Hi.
Hi. Am I pronouncing it right? If I do hear you well, is it Chris Ouellette?
It's actually Ouellette, but
Ouellette.
Yeah, so like the
well, that's why I ask.
It's a little French. No, don't worry about it. I tend not to correct people, and it's all fine.
You know what? The thing I try to do with names is go with what I think is the most realistic and not try to complicate it.
Get too fancy, yeah. No, that's
and I think about that works about 55% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
I really appreciate you having me on, though. This is really awesome thing for you to do. I'm a big fan of the show. I've been watching for a while, and really honored, really excited to talk to you and talk about my book.
Well, I'm excited to hear about it, and you have some great branding there. Putting a lot of people have Satellite Girl.
Yes.
Is that what we're here to talk about?
That is what's active. It's currently live on Kickstarter.
I'll pull it up.
Oh, cool. Thank you. You'll notice, I think at the top, I got some nice endorsement from David Finch. I was actually just appeared on his live stream on Monday Night Draw this past Monday.
Congratulations.
He's been a supporter of mine for, I met him at Terrificon last year in Connecticut, and last summer showed him my portfolio, showed him like the first section of issue 1, and he had great things to say about it. And it was very encouraging, and then kind of gave me a nice shout out for issue 1. And then he got he backed it as well, got his copies. And then on Monday, he kind of flipped through issue 1 on camera. We talked about issue 2 a little bit and kind of talked about what I'm working on and where it's going. And it's been going really well. I've been very, very lucky and very blessed in that regard to get his support.
That's pretty nice to hear. Let me see if I think I've got it here to add. Let me just see if I've got this right.
Okay.
No, how did I do that? That's weird.
That's issue 1's campaign, but issue 2.
Yeah. Let me hit refresh and see if that's so weird. Okay, hold on. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to add it back because I do have issue 2 in front of me. I'm sorry about that, Chris.
It's okay. No
I'm a real technological whiz here. That I can definitely say that. Let's see. Add to no, that's not what I want.
Get out of the way. There we go. You can see that now.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what I've done here. I've created a bunch of tabs for myself and made a real mess of it. But I'm going to be able to add it in just a sec.
Yeah, I put it in the chat too. If you the link.
I think I've got it. Let's see. Did that come up, folks? There we go.
Yep, there we go.
There we go.
So yeah.
All right. So tell us now that I've got this here about Satellite Girl. What is Satellite Girl?
So Satellite Girl is a super sidekick satire. Basically, it is. Imagine like Batman if he had 12 Robins throughout his. I mean, he's close, but hasn't quite had that many. And instead of Batman, it is it's a Flash Gordon-esque character called Captain Cosmos, who doesn't age, and he's had 12 girls be his sidekick for the various eras and of pop culture and of media, and so each one represents the era that they they hold the gig, their tenure. So
Yep.
when you're looking at right now, that's Satellite Girl 9, very Tank Girl, Jamie Hewlett, extreme 90s. And then after that one's 8. Oh, is that for me, Chris, or you, Chris? Anyway.
For me. They're
okay,
teasing me.
So the way we're telling the story is it's kind of, I'm thinking about these individual issues as like mixtapes. So,
okay.
Kind of giving you a sense of my style, these characters, general world building that I'm trying to create, and then this is building towards a kind of a different way of telling the story. I'm working backwards. So issue 1 is the final Satellite Girl, number 12, and then
cool.
It goes 12, 11, 10, and then this is 9, 8, 7, and so it's generally 1 per decade, but some don't last that long. Some retire
it's a
early.
risky field,
things
right?
happen. Robins die, if you will. So these are like the side quests or the side adventures of the sidekick, and they'll share, a power crystal that they use in different ways, and this is kind of some snippets of what was ready when we launched the campaign. But
of course,
it's all penciled now and almost finished inking and coloring it, so it will be ready to go pretty soon after we finish the campaign.
And so you can still get like issue 1 through this.
Yes, we can. We have that as an add-on if you want.
Easy, smart.
Which is great. So you can get caught up. It's an updated, slightly different cover, and it does say second printing on it.
But, so you wrote and drew this, Chris?
Yeah, I did it all. It's all mine. So
dude, that's really impressive. I like the idea of the structure too.
Thank you very much. I got a nice shout out recently about the joke on the front of who washes the dishwasher. Nice little Watchmen tag.
Oh, I get that. Let me ask this real quick. Just being about like sidekicks and trying to get a little bit more behind the scenes and show them as real people. Ever read anything like Brat Pack by Rick Veitch?
I did, yes, and I read it a long time ago. I don't have my copy anymore, but I have recently watched the Cartoons Kayfabe episode about it.
Good.
And it'd
be better if you watch the comic Tropes, but
I'm not quite as dark as that, or as deconstructed, I would say. It's more about the media and kind of like it's a little bit more of making fun of the way women were represented in those eras.
Perfect. That's what I was kind of curious about, Chris, was like, if I use that as just a sort of a cultural touchstone, I could learn that's different about yours. And I feel like I can even see a little of that in the art, and that like each of these girls is sort of wearing something that's a little representative of the era that they operated in.
Exactly right. Yeah, this is very leg warmers reflect. This is kind of like a Jane Fonda jazzercise, and then ultimately becomes like an Ultraman fighting a giant monster in Manhattan.
I like that.
Yeah, so I wanted to really the first issue I didn't really get to show off force perspective and cityscapes and all that. So I'm really trying to get my on this mixtape, if you will, trying to get really stretch my legs and make sure I can show off some large scale fight sequences and some up close and personal fight sequences as well. There's a 50 panel double page spread that I've just finished.
Oh my god!
Kind of like a Frank Miller like TV monitor, Frank Miller Sin City hand to hand combat fight. So there's a lot coming up, and I hope people will check it out and give it a shot, because I'm really proud of it. I think it's got a lot of professionals behind it, which is fun. People are really digging it.
Dude, congratulations, because
thank you so
that's
much.
The kind of stuff like that can really put some more eyeballs in it, when you can just sort of get somebody to endorse or just boost the signal. And so that carries a lot of weight with me anyway. If somebody like David Finch is saying like, yeah, take a look at this.
Yeah, Nick Batara, your buddy, he's I was featured in the back of Axe Wielder John. I have some fan art in the back matter.
Oh, that's so cool. I'll take a look at my copy. It's upstairs, but I'll take a look for that.
I got a 3/4 of a page. It's pretty great. And he's actually looking over this material now, and is going to hopefully give me a pull quote too, like next week or something like that. So, another more endorsement from him would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
I've been very
incredible.
Lucky.
That's incredible. Wow. Chris, I hope you have a lot of success with this. How'd the first issue go for you?
It was good. We doubled our goal. We were funded, and we had, it was a pretty small run, but ended up being pretty great feedback. And I have I can show some of. I have a PDF on my screen. I don't know how to share my screen though.
Oh, bear with me. I don't know. I think if you just hit share, that it should pop up as something that I can add. Oh my goodness! I just realized how many people I've got waiting. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. I don't want to take up too much time. I want everybody to get their shot.
You're not doing anything wrong. I literally just didn't expect this much interest, and I would love to help promote a few more people since I've got you. But Chris, good luck with this, folks. It's called Satellite Girl. It's on Kickstarter. Chris Ouellette.
I'll drop a link in the YouTube chat.
Perfect. Good idea. And continued success. Thank you very much for sharing with us all today.
Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. James, get ready. Because now we have James Greatorex. Am I guessing that one right? Are you guessing like whether you've gotten audio or, oh, yes, I'm talking to you. Don't worry, folks. This is a very professional show. Everybody here has had plenty of time to prepare. It was lined up weeks ago. No, I'm just giving everybody a hard time. James, thank you for jumping in.
I saw that you my sound wasn't working, so I plugged in headphones. But I saw you lip read my last name, and it's Greatorex. Did you get it?
That's what I said.
Okay, great. Then you did a good job.
Okay, I tried not to overthink it.
Yeah, no, it's spelled exactly how it sounds. Greatorex. How's it going?
What? It's going great. Better now that you're here, James.
Yes, of course.
What are you working on creatively? What can we learn from you?
So I have my self-published comic book, Island Lost.
Oh, and what's Island Lost about?
So it's kind of like I wanted to make a story that was a Legend of Zelda comic book.
Okay.
So I just wrote and drew what I wanted to see in a Legend of Zelda comic. And so it's
I get
sort
that.
of, yeah, it's sort of loosely the idea of like Link from Zelda has grown up and has children now, and he takes his young daughter on a little boating trip, and they get lost in a big storm and end up on a deserted island with lots of mysteries and lots of different habitats and biomes, and they will go through various adventures.
Oh my goodness! And how long have you been working on Island Lost at this point?
So I probably started like right around the start of COVID.
Oh, okay. Boy, was that a huge point for a lot of people to just go like, hey, I guess I'm going to have some free time to do something creative.
Exactly. I know, like I'd worked on other comic books. I'd done some lettering and some coloring for some different projects. And I was like, I'm just going to do my own thing. So it's supposed to be a larger graphic novel, but for myself, I just wanted to like have something to hold in my hands. So I put the first like 48 pages together as for the first chapter. There's a few other things that I've worked on. So yeah, the first 48 pages are in this thing, and I've drawn like
48 pages.
Yeah, for the first issue, and I've done the next 30 pages for issue 2.
Wow. This is a gorgeous visual style. Are you professionally taught?
No, completely self-taught.
Really?
Yeah. So this is one of the good things of COVID is I was a retailer, comic book store manager, and we had to close for a couple of months at the start of COVID. So I just started drawing 8 hours a day. I mean, I always loved drawing, and I always loved artwork, but dedicating 8 hours a day to drawing really advanced my skills. I learned a lot. I watched a lot of comic tropes videos along the way to keep me company while I was drawing. Yeah.
And I think you may have watched a bunch of cartoonist kayfabe, because I saw you tag your comics "Make Comics." Am I guessing that right?
Yeah. Lots of different comics, YouTubes and podcasts and all kinds of stuff to keep me company while I'm drawing. Yeah.
You're getting a lot of really nice comments. James.
Thanks,
yes, I see a little bit of Wind Waker in there, I think.
Absolutely. Yes, that is my biggest influence is the Wind Waker. Yeah, my favorite Zelda game is Wind Waker.
EJ Sue, professional comics artist, in there telling you that because of your name, you should work on some comics involving T-Rex.
Yes, no, I probably
first time you've probably heard that one.
Like the musician or the or like?
Yes, we're definitely talking about the musician.
Okay,
Even though this is a comics channel, I think we're all super into the band T-Rex.
Yeah.
No,
So,
that is really pretty, though. That is really pretty.
I'll show you
And,
some
and I mean
pictures.
that like as a sincere compliment. It's very
No,
engaging.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I've got I'll show you some pages. I've got a few some scrap paper that I was keeping as little bookmarks to show you some pages. So just a little product placement for the newest Comic Tropes episode. So here's
Oh yeah.
And you know, like I sneak
nice
in
clean storytelling.
I sneak in some Zelda characters here and there, like, you know, if you look, oh man, this is mirrored for me. So if you look, you know, right here, here's the old man from Breath of the Wild. I sneak him in there.
Look at that.
Here's another bookmark, scrap paper, a few more bookmarks. Yeah, so there's, you know, monsters.
I like the colors. I like the colors. Now, did you do that like is that digital or is that like watercolor? I can't quite tell from here.
This is all Procreate.
Procreate.
All Procreate.
Well, it's a really charming palette. I feel like that it all like comes together and feels like one product. It feels like there's a tone, I guess, or an ambient.
Yeah. It was part of the as I was experimenting and coloring along, I was like, I don't know if I want to do like full, like, you know, color, and I decided on like a muted color palette depending on the scenes. So like, you know, that's daytime, nighttime is in blue.
That's very engaging. I sincerely like your color palette a lot.
Like I like to do like evening colors in like this sort of pinkish red color. Yeah.
Let's see.
So the website is it's just islandlost.com.
Yep, islandlost.com.
And there's two sizes. There's like
I see that.
My first printing was the little 6x9, and then I sold out of this, and I have a couple of copies left. And so then I was experimenting, and I printed a Silver Age size. So it's like, what is that, 7.5 by 10? So,
yeah, a little closer to like what we're used to. That's awesome.
Oh,
that's so nice. That's so nice. Wow. This one definitely speaks to me. And I love your little graphic up here as well.
Yeah.
What's next? Are you going to be doing more of this?
Yes. Yeah. So I got to finish up the second issue. Eventually I'll have a completed graphic novel, but I'm thinking every time I finish like a major chapter, I'll self-publish another run on the books. Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. Keep putting out stuff somewhat regularly, engage and grow your readership, and then eventually you're going to have a nice solid book to put out. But it's very charming. I love I keep saying it, but I really like what you've done with the color palette. I really do. It just really sets a beautiful tone. You know what it reminds me of? Actually, I grew up on the coast. I grew up on the East Coast by a beach, and so like the light blue skies and this sort of like light yellow sandy beaches really speak to me as like coastal. There's something very like coastal about that, and it makes it just sort of feel like cool. This is it feels like a seaside story.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you can hear my accent, but I grew up in Australia. I live in the United States.
No, I can't hear anything. Sounds like you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah. So no, I've lived in the US for 20 years now.
Okay. Whoops. Oh,
no, you're fine.
Sorry.
A lot of my like backgrounds and sort of the sort of wildlife and stuff that I put in the stories is very much like from Australian beaches and wildlife and forests and the bush and whatnot. So yeah.
You still got family back there?
Yeah. Most of my family is.
How they doing ever since the bushfires? Is Australia recovering? I haven't talked to anybody from Australia in a while.
I mean, Australia's kind of always in bushfire season.
I know.
And 2019 was the last time I was back there during the bushfires.
Yeah.
So for somebody who has asthma, it was not fun.
No, it was really it really hurt to see something like that happening. But I'm glad that you're able to focus on something so positive and beautiful. I appreciate you sharing this with us, James.
No, I appreciate having the time, but I want to take up more of your time. I want to see more people show their stuff off. It's awesome to see.
That's very kind of you. All right, we'll keep it moving on. But James, thank you very much. The book, folks, is Island Lost. Thanks, James.
See ya.
All right, next up is John's Long Box. Let's see what John, welcome. Am I correct in assuming that you're John if you're John's Long Box?
Yes, you are absolutely 100% correct.
Look at all that. Look at that background.
Yeah,
I feel at home. I feel at home. This is.
you said you grew up at a beach on the East Coast. Are you from New York?
Nah, a little further north. Don't hold it against me. I'm
okay.
from deep in the Boston area.
Okay, I grew up in the East Coast by the beach too, so I thought maybe we were neighbors who just didn't know each other.
Globally, we're neighbors.
Yes, yeah. I'm John from John's Long Box. I have a YouTube channel that I've been doing for a few years now, where I talk about comics, and then I recently branched out into making comics.
You did? What are you making?
I sent it to you. You can put it up on the screen if you want. It's on Fund My Comic. It's active right now.
Look at that.
It's called Heroic Tales.
What's Heroic Tales? Obviously, it's some sort of superhero story.
Right.
But
I'm a superhero freak. I grew up reading Marvel and DC, and I love superheroes, and I'm tired of deconstruction of superheroes. So this is a love letter to blue sky superheroes. And here is, I'll go right to the cover. It's called Heroic Tales. The main superhero is called the Patriarch because he is like a father figure.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I kind of, it's a love letter to all the dads out there. I feel in pop culture, dads are kind of getting a short shift, all this toxic masculinity and stuff. So I wanted to show a dad in a positive light. So he's a superhero. He's got 7 children. He's a loving husband. And, you see my Magneto helmet. He's a, just positive superhero. Blue sky superhero.
That sounds good.
I stumbled upon my words for a second, but
I forgive you. Nobody else would, so that's why it's good that you stopped by my show. I'm forgiving of stuff like that.
So it is a 30-page complete story, and as you can see here, it's only $10 for the comic. Shipping.
Okay.
Shipping. But I feel with crowdfunding and independent comics, it's a big ask to charge $25 for a cliffhanger story that'll come out 8 months later. So it's a 30-page story. It's got a Patriarch of 20 pages. It's got 8 pages of unheroic tales of the origin of a bad guy.
Okay.
And all for $10. I try to make comics as affordable as possible. And just like the old Marvel method, it was a complete story every issue. If I need to tell a longer story, I'll make a bigger comic. This is a variant cover by Pat Broderick. I know you're an old school comic book guy. You got to know Pat Broderick. He did a Firestorm, and he did Captain Atom. He did
wow.
Yeah, I reached out to him, and he was. So this comic cover is only exclusive on Fund My Comic. So when I go to Kickstarter later on, I'm gonna have Michael T. Gilbert do a cover from Mr. Monster fame. If you're familiar.
Yeah, of course I know that. I know Mr. Gilbert. Yeah, or his work. Yeah.
Yeah, great guy. What a great guy. And then later on, when I go to Indiegogo, I'll have Mike Gustovich cover. They're already drawn. They're all ready to go. Mike Gustovich did the Justice Machine back in the early 90s. And
that does sound familiar. Justice Machine sounds familiar.
What a great guy. So
go to the very top again there, John, because it looked like you had quite a bit of success already on funding this. Can you show us that again?
Yes, it's been available for 13 days. I already raised $3,663. I unlocked I unlocked the first stretch goal, which is a trading card of the Patriarch. And then I don't know if you're familiar with role-playing games. I'm a big role player.
A little bit.
If it's nerdy, I do it. So there's Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody knows Dungeons and Dragons, but there's a video game. There's a role-playing game called Villains and Vigilantes. And Villains and Vigilantes is a superhero game. It came out in the 80s. I've been playing it since the 80s. I'm a old school nerd. You were
alive in the 80s?
Yeah. I started collecting comics in the 70s. So
that's awesome.
I wanted to put the stats to my character in Villains and Vigilantes. So I actually found the guy who owns the game. He gave me blessings. Villains and Vigilantes. Yes, somebody Beowulf looks like he knows what I'm talking about. But he gave me the blessing, so I could put the actual Villains and Vigilantes stats on the back of the cards. And then he said, when you get a couple of issues down, we're going to make a source book of all your characters for Villains.
Hey.
So, oh my God, my brains explode. So I'm as happy. I almost cursed. I'm as happy as
you can curse on this show. It's fine. We're past 5 minutes.
My comics all ages, so I've tried to talk to all ages. So
It's just too bad that you don't have much energy, John. It's just too bad that you don't have much energy to promote this, because I feel like you've got a good idea here. I just wish you had a little bit of excitement for it.
I know. It's such a shame. Such a shame. I'm the sloth. But I'm going to be exclusive on Fund My Comic. So if you go to Fund My Comics sales, you'll find my comic.
So let's ask this, because we want to like learn a few different things.
Sure.
How did you choose Fund My Comics over options like, say, Indiegogo, Kickstarter?
Excellent question. When I was shopping around, I was first off, let me just say Renzo Rodriguez is the artist, and me and him were talking. So we were talking about what format, what platform to go on. And somebody, because I do talks. I talk with comic book creators on my channel.
Oh, good.
I had Mike Barron, Chuck Dixon, Jim Shooter, Michael T. Gilbert, Mike Gustovich. All these guys come on my channel, and somebody said, "Go with Fund My Comic. They're new, but it's they'll give you a low platform fee. I got to be realistic." So I was like, okay. So I reached out to them, and Luke Stone, the owner of Fund My Comic, came on my show, and we talked. And then when we were done, he gave me his phone number, and to me, that was the real. If I go on to Indiegogo and have let me tell you the story. Friday, the day of the launch, I updated something, and I didn't realize when you update it, it has to get approved again. So I thought it crashed. So I'm panicking. Can you imagine? I got 3 hours to launch. My site goes down. I'm freaking out. So I called Luke. He gave me his phone number, the guy who owns this site. I could hear him having dinner with his family. I could hear the dishes clinking. And I explained, because, you must have updated something. Okay, let me approve it again, and blah, blah, blah. So he's like, how you doing? You nervous? And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying. He goes, well, it's fixed. I'm like, what? He goes, it's fixed. And that made me, can you call the guy at Indiegogo if you have a problem? Can you call the guy at Kickstarter if you have a problem? No, I'm not going to bash any sites. I'm not here to bash any sites.
Yeah.
So that would, to me, I
get that. Yeah, it's that personal touch. It's that like ability to like actually respond quickly. I get it.
Okay, you see this right here?
Yeah. What about
this? This is the back cover. Scroll down. This is the back cover.
Oh,
I was coming home from work. I'm on the Long Island Railroad, and I said, I want to have an image that encapsulates the comic. So the patriarch coming home to his family, his wife, his 7 children on the farm. They live kind of a secluded life.
Up here. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. So I got Renzo, and I described what I wanted. He dropped everything. We drew this. Look, I am so proud of this piece of art. Oh man, this is so good. So the title of this particular story is called Daddy's Home. He's just trying to get home, but he's a superhero.
Yeah.
There's bank robberies. There's cars going off the road, and things. So by the time he gets home, he's just happy to see why? Because he's a good dad. This is his wife down here on the bottom in the pink with the hat on.
With the burns?
Yeah, she's got burns. That'll be. We'll explain that in issue 4.
Okay.
There's a reason why they're not hiding, but away from everybody. Okay. Because we all read comics. Supervillains are jerks. Supervillains.
Good point.
So
we'll all remember that. Supervillains are jerks, people.
And you can quote me on that.
You're on the record. You're on the record. It's out of my hands at this point, John.
I have decreed it. So if you scroll down, you'll see some of the internal art. Renzo Rodriguez is the artist. I wanted to show people that it's not a bait and switch. This is,
it's what it looks like. I think it's always strong to show several pages.
That's the patriarch over here. This is Boss Moxie and his henchwomen robbing the bank.
There we go. Classic superhero
He's trying
stuff.
to get home now when his senses kick in, and he sees a car driving off the road. Yep. Excellent storytelling. And when I say storytelling, I'm talking about the ability for you to figure out what's going on without the word.
Without the dialogue. Absolutely.
And then, I'm showing he's repairing the car with his mind, because I wanted people to understand he's not Superman. He's got different powers than Superman. And then he goes off, and that's all the free. I got a coin over here that you could purchase with the comic. I got a pint glass.
Look at that.
Rich gold
Good
cards.
ideas. Good ideas.
Yeah, killer interior. Dow, thank you for saying that. Yeah, so
some really nice stuff. I like the color scheme. It's not what I'm used to. It's not what I'm used to seeing in superheroes. The purple and white and gold, but very regal colors.
Well, that's just it. I'm a Roman. I have a degree in Roman history, so I was like, I like the idea of the purple for the Roman emperor. He's got the laurel wreath. You know what I mean? And it's
absolutely
for heroism. Yeah, I like the Watchmen. I like the Dark Knight Returns.
Oh,
I like
sure.
but I'm kind of tired. I want, and as much as I liked Invincible, the father was a jerk. You know what I mean? So
oh yeah.
So I want it. Like I said, it's a love letter to blue sky superheroes. Blue sky is a term for when we were kids. I'm assuming I'm older than you because I'm older than most people on the planet. So
I'm 62.
Oh, really?
No.
I was going to say you look good for 62. I
look good for 62. Maybe not so much for.
I hope I look but I know you're an old time comic book guy.
I am.
Been reading comics for a while, so you understand what I'm talking about. Like a return to every issue is going to be a complete story.
Great.
But they build on the next. Like already in these pages that you showed, there's hints and foreshadowing for further stories. So if you miss an issue, which I hope you don't, you won't be lost on the next issue. Like Jim Shooter.
That's a smart idea. That's a smart idea.
Every issue is somebody's first issue.
Gives it jumping on points. Gives it jumping on points because you never know how somebody's going to discover it. Hopefully, this gave it enough of a signal boost that a few new people will discover it, and you can use this video to share.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this was a blast. Thank you for showing
John, it was really fun talking to you. I see a lot of passion behind this, and passion goes a long way. Good luck with everything.
Come on my channel and talk comics with me. It's John's Long Box. Reach out.
Noted. Feel free to reach out. That would be fun.
Okay.
Take care.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me. Thanks.
Happy to do it. Looks like we've got a few more people that have been very patient, so I'm happy to have people on if they want to wait. Nate from 819 Comics. Hi, Nate. How are you?
Hi, how's it going? Great to see you. Wow, big fan of your channel.
Thank you. I love your bookshelf there. That's a lot of books there.
There's way more of it off camera, so
wow. Yeah, and you've got a ring light there. Do I take that to mean that you also do some online content?
Trying to. It's kind of it's how you say getting the kinks out, sort of speak. But
what are you working on?
Well, I have 2 series right now. We've been doing this. My wife and I started our own comic book company called 819 Comics, based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the first one is Mr. Marsh.
Mr. Marsh.
Mr. Marsh. This is the graphic novel collection. Has the first 4 issues. We have a 5th issue. As well. And our second series is actually Zira. This is not the size of the comic. Not the size of the comic. Sorry. It's actually this size, but we have 2 issues of that one as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start making comics?
Ever since my dad bought me my first Superman comic. God, I was probably 4 years old.
I thought you were about to say 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Ever since
rejuvenation just kicked in right here now.
No, but okay. So your dad introduced you to some good superhero stuff.
Oh yes, he's a connoisseur of comics. Him and his brothers, and they have a whole collection. And I devoured it, and I've been devouring it ever since. And then when I met my wife, pictured there, she's also my colorist. She does all the colors for our comics. She basically told me, why not? Let's do this. So in 2016, we made issue 1 of Mr. Marsh. And we've tried to do an issue a year, give or take, basically. And I was just packing up for a 1-day show that we're having tomorrow.
Where?
It's in Grove City, Pennsylvania. It's for their library. It's called the Grove City Fan Fest.
Wow.
And it's a 1-day. It's gonna be, lots of cosplay fun. Jim Rugg's gonna be there.
Oh, really?
Other comic artists. So
well, if you get to see him, say that Chris from Comic Tropes says hello. But wow. So Mr. Marsh sounds as though it's going to be some sort of one of these swamp monster type people. He's in green, but he's obviously got sort of like armor. What can you tell us about who is Mr. Marsh? Tell us just a little bit about who he is.
So Mr. Marsh starts out as an ordinary farmhand. He works at this farm owned by a lovely lady named Maddie, who, he's got a crush on. But one day there's a fire in her barn, and he mysteriously disappears. And then days later, Maddie discovers this middleman that fell from the sky, and he has this guy's memories. And we find out he's basically stuck in a metal spacesuit with these different abilities. And then he encounters teleportation, were-rats, and the crazy, insane world of 8th City. Where,
what city again?
8th City, like 8th.
For a minute, I thought you said Ape City, and I got excited about the idea of gorillas.
That's the crossover for later. So 8th City is home to our villain, the locksmith, and he has a lot of secrets under his belt, and he knows exactly what Macon Marshall, the name of the character I came up with, what he's all about, and it's not good. So. So it's his journey to find his real body, which is trapped in a capsule, and how he's going to be able to regain, some form of normal life. But so far, 5 issues in, he's still trying.
So what are you doing? Are you self-printing these like on demand, or do you just like have stores of them or something like that? How are you doing this?
So we basically publish them ourselves through. We did. Through a company called Litho Ninja. We were publishing through them for our first 4 issues. And then we discovered a local printer called Kness, Keness. And he does wonderful work. He's been doing our books, the 5th Mr. Marsh he did, and both Zero books. He's been getting a lot of great quality work out there, and we love going to shows. We do local conventions. We have our books in local comic book stores in Pennsylvania, Ohio. So we're looking to, expand and keep telling these stories we have.
You're in a cool area for comics creators. Actually, there's a nice bit of a Pittsburgh scene there. What's Zira about?
Oh, Zira is actually a cosmic queen, and she's a ghost hunter. And the story is basically she just tells a bunch of tales, a la Conan the Barbarian, sort of. Each tale is like an EC Comics, where she's the Crypt Keeper, basically, but she's also the hero of the story. So she has a lot of crazy adventures in space, a lot of alien ghosts, and crazy legends she's trying to figure out. She encounters a haunted spaceship.
A haunted spaceship? I like that.
Spaceship,
so you're mixing supernatural with science in all of these.
Exactly, yeah. It's basically like He-Man meets Ghostbusters, but the Crypt Keeper is this, kick-ass woman. And we actually made it for our daughter, who was born 4 years ago. And we thought, we want her to have a superhero of her own. So yeah, we figured Zira would be the great candidate for that, and so far people have been responding really well to it.
That's so wholesome. That's really, really nice.
Oh, thank you.
So let's see. Oh, May 11th. Yeah, Grove City Library Fandom Fest. You've got a really nice website here.
Thank you.
But I'm looking at this, and if you guys are printing this stuff yourself, how are you selling it at only $5 or $6 an issue? I don't understand. That just seems too little.
We're doing a lot of great work with this printer. He does great work at a quality price, and since we we funded ourselves, it gets a lot of great attention at shows, and a lot of people get word of mouth. And we know people at comic book stores that talk a lot about it, and they have their own sections with local creators. And like you said, Pittsburgh is a very big scene in the comics world, so it's pretty good mecca to get exposure, especially with all the fun creators we have living right next door, pretty much.
Show us your shirt. What am I looking at there? It's something about Garfield.
I literally got this shirt maybe 2 days ago. I literally did, and it was just out of the wash today. So I'm running all over the place, and we actually just had our second child 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God! Well, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank
How are
you
you
very
making
much.
comics and raising 2 kids? With that, that's bonkers.
It's not easy, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun for sure.
You must have a lot of passion for what you do, and you must have a lot of support from your family if you're getting to do it, because that is a lot to take on. That is a lot. I'm impressed. I'm sincerely impressed, Nate.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my wife is my number one cheerleader, and yeah, if it wasn't for her, I'd still be doing stick figures. It took me a long time to finally. Oh, hi! Here she is right now. So
yeah.
She wants to say hi real quick.
Hi.
Welcome, Stacy. We were just taking a look at your beautiful work.
Oh, thank you.
A beautiful colorist wife. Yes.
Sneaking down to get some ice cream.
Ice cream run. So that's her gig right now. So. But
you've earned it. If you guys,
yeah.
Tell you what, this is my new rule. If you put out comic books and raise 2 kids, you're entitled to have ice cream whenever you want. That's my
hear that, honey?
I agree.
Whenever
she
you
agrees,
want.
100%.
Even if you're diabetic, you're entitled to have it whenever you want.
Yep, she
yep.
She was during pregnancy, so yeah, she is going for that sugar. That's for
awesome.
sure.
Nate, this is fantastic. What's the next thing you're going to have? Another issue of Zero or another issue of Mr. Marsh? What's the next one?
Everybody's asking for Zero number 3, but I'm actually currently working on Mr. Marsh number 6. Number 6 is going to be the penultimate chapter of a 7-issue first season. So I'm working on the finale right now, which halfway there. So I do all the pencils on Bristol. So it's a little bit of a slow process, but it's a fun one at the same time.
Then I love that. I love that. You have to love what you're doing for it to work, because comics is tough to get wealthy on, but if it can be a reward to actually make the story and share it, that's at least worthwhile as the first step.
Totally agree, 100% on that.
I love the passion here. I love that it's a family affair. I wish you every success.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me on here, and everyone else. This is
Absolutely.
great. This is awesome, and we love your show, so thank you again.
Very kind of you. 819 Comics, folks. 819comics.com if you want to check out what Nate and Stacy have made, and I wish you every success, and have a great weekend.
You as well. Thank you, sir.
All right. Let us bring up, looks like Weird Ed, who's also
I did not expect to be me right now. Oh, God.
Are you not ready?
I am. I just didn't expect it to be me next. So
yeah,
me off guard.
You're in the queue, buddy. You're in the queue. You waited. You waited quite a while. So what can I do except give you a chance here?
Sure.
What are you talking about? What are you creatively working on right now?
Well, right now we published, well, not right now, like almost a few months ago, but we published a fan comic called Call the Ghostbusters. Me and the originator and creator and the artist. It just had a long history, but yeah, we made a fan comic. It's completely free. The first issue is out.
I think I found it. Give me a second and I'm gonna bring it up. Is it crankcave.com?
I sent the link tree in the private chat just in case.
Okay. Yep. Hold on. I'm gonna open it up for people. But what inspired you to do a Ghostbusters story?
Well, we're both fans, and we both always have ideas. If we're gonna get a little nerdy, he's more in tone like the real Ghostbusters cartoon. I'm more in tone like the movies. But we blend in ideas perfectly because we both believe in the concept of Ghostbusters too much that we think and believe that it can be applied to almost anything and work. And we wanted to put our money where our mouth is, and he started it first with his version, which is called The Ghostbusters, which is kind of like a prequel between the first and the second movie.
Oh, between the two movies. All right. I have to admit, I haven't really heard of somebody attempting that. All right.
The art is slightly, well, not slightly, but inspired the first issue by the IDW run by Dan Schoening and Eric Burnham. And
you like that run?
Oh yeah, we love it. For us, it's like the equivalent of the Batman animated series, but for Ghostbusters. It's just that good for the fans.
Where do I find the comic on your site?
The comic is free to download on the link tree. The
on
full
the link
issue.
Tree. Got it. Bear with me.
But the preview is right on the site that you're watching. If you scroll down.
Oh, if I just scroll down?
Yeah, there, right there. You can upper.
This?
Yes, you can click and it's.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that. I love it. And let's see, just so that other people can find it, let me see the, I'm just going to put the link. It's, call the, I want to be able to see the easiest way to share the link for everybody.
Yeah, no problem. It has an Instagram and a Facebook, but since I'm not the owner and not the main artist and writer, I'm doing this without him knowing.
That's fair.
I wanted to do a nice gesture for him, and also, if I may mention, other fan comics too, like also from Ghostbusters, like from Nick Cross, Ghostbusters Ectosism, which is just released this second part. It's like an 8-part graphic novel, but it's very beautiful. Like if you want, I can share also a link for that. And
what's that for again?
Oh, Ghostbusters Ectosism. Let me share the link. That one is the art is more like, I don't know if it's hand painted or digitally painted, but it's in a way that it's more realistic rather than ours. And let me see here. I apologize for the delay.
What's your favorite Ghostbusters media?
Honestly, I just love it when they expand it more than just rehashing the first movie.
I can understand that.
Yeah, I love it when they try new things, even if they try subtle things, even if, what would be how they handle things off the clock? Oh, they are in a bar and they only have bare equipment. Like we think about it more of in a serialized manner rather than just a big time apocalyptic event. Like we want the boring cases, we want the small cases, or like more procedural stuff, but not as making them like action heroes, still with the comedy. But
that sounds fun. And what part do you do again on this?
Honestly, I was essentially just like the ghostwriter because I didn't want credit. That's why
ghostwriter.
The pun wasn't intended originally, but yes.
Every time there's a need for a ghost, that you take over writing the script and everybody else leaves the room?
I'm technically that guy for a lot of friends, and that's why I don't have a lot of self-published stuff of my own. It's just me more supporting others. Not because I don't want to, it's just I'm taking my time with my own stuff.
Well, that's cool, man.
But I saw the opportunity. I'm a fan of your show. Like I always love the topics and how out of the box you seem. So I figured and this is one of them because I'm rarely
in the box. I'm rarely in the box, and I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
If you put me in a box, I bust out of it because busting makes me feel good. Wait, that's not as funny because Paul Rudd just used it in the latest movie. I just realized all I'm doing is like...
But that is the meme. Everybody just likes to make that.
That is the meme. We all love Paul Rudd. We'll forgive him.
True. So...
Weird Ed. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Just in case if anyone's interested, I also shared the other fan comic link from another artist called Richie Crip. He is not free on his publication because he prints them physically, so he sends them, so it's unofficial. But if you want, there's the link for anyone that's interested to find new Ghostbusting stories.
I love it. I love it. I hope you guys are having fun, making good friends, getting some good feedback from the community, and just learning learning all sorts of storytelling skills from all of this. Okay.
Yeah, we are, and as comic book fans, we're just enjoying everything that's
I love that.
Essentially indie right now. I don't know if you're ever gonna make a video about, and I'm not trying to suggest. It's just like I don't know if you heard
better
of
not
Ripperverse.
Don't you dare! Wait, what did you want me to cover?
No, I'm not saying that you have to. I don't know if you heard of them because you also promote indie stuff. I don't know if you heard of Ripperverse. It just started out.
I've heard of it. I don't know a lot about it.
I barely read it myself, but everything that I've read, it seems good, interesting so far. So if you're ever interested, it's just starting out.
All right.
I always try to look for new stuff to enjoy as well in the comic book universe.
Ed, thank you for taking a few minutes to speak with us.
Anytime.
Have
Glad,
a fantastic
and I
weekend.
hope everybody else enjoys it too.
We will. All right, we're going to keep moving. We've got Lewis coming up next, and I'm saying that so that he can have plenty of time to wake up and be alert, because I feel like I really surprised Ed with that one. I'm going to try to do better. Here we go.
Hello.
Lewis Southard. Am I pronouncing your last name right?
Southard.
Southard. Gave it a
Can you hear
shot.
me?
Failed.
It's all right. It's all right. It's good to
I'll
meet
have you back
Chris.
next week. We'll see you.
It's good to meet you. I'm such a fan of the show. I've been a fan for a long time. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, I got to get in on that.
You're doing the Comics Are Dying? Is that right?
Oh, you got me with that one. Wait, let's see. There it is. That's the ash can for MCM London. So
I've heard of this. I believe I supported it already.
Oh, you did. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know you did the interview
pull it
with.
up. Is this on Zoop?
Yes, I know you did
Yeah,
the
I
interview
supported
with
this.
Jordan, and you guys shouted it out, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah. Well, that's Zoop is doing some interesting things, and it seems like Jordan's a pretty nice guy to work with. Let me bring something up. I'm going to present a screen here so that people can see. So yeah, Comics Are Dying is about sort of the history of comics, right? But like with the eye to the fact that comics have always sort of been up and down. Do I have a little bit of that right?
I would say so. This is mainly a love letter to the comic book industry. Everyone says comics are always dying, but they never go away. So this is mainly like poking fun at all the ups and downs of the industry, how we started in like 1842 to the modern day.
Okay.
And right now the campaign's over. I didn't really expect to talk about this too much, but we jump right into it. So why not? But like, it was
I heard
fantastic...
that like Jordan at Zoop is going to start adding like the ability for people that have sort of like FOMO to potentially order it afterwards, right?
When the book is printed, any overstock will be available on Zoop. So you're 100% correct there.
Cool.
But yeah, no, that was oh, thank you, Philip. This was a fantastic project to make. Over 100 artists working on it, as well as additional colorists and letterers, I guess.
Yeah.
And as well as a fantastic foreword by legendary creator Mark Waid. So that was, I have no clue, but somebody just told me he was important, and I'm like, okay, we'll have him on.
It's just that easy. No, congratulations. That's nice to get a forward from somebody like Mark Waid. How long have you been working on this, Lewis? When did you start this idea?
Since January, believe it or not. It was around the end of December I got the idea, and I kind of dedicated myself full time to getting everyone on board. So like I reached out to everyone that I worked with on previous projects, which I hope to shout out real quick before I get booted off. But then after that, they reached out to peers and colleagues, and then we even got help from the Joe Kubert School and the Savannah College of Art and Design. So,
wow!
You know, I lived in New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey, so like I lived in the shadow of the Kubert School. So having like a bunch of staff and students partake in this was like really an honor, you know, honestly. So that was really great.
These are some great pages you got from some very different artists, but yeah, it looks cool as heck.
Well, thank you. Like the idea is each page is either a one-page or double-page splash dedicated or homaging either a historical fact or a book or creator or real-life event. So,
yeah,
you know,
I see all sorts of stuff here from like Image to Alan Moore to Stan Lee in the 70s, and of course.
Women in Refrigerators.
Dr. Frederick Wortham. Look at these artists, folks.
We got a lot of fan favorites. We got Netho Diaz, just did a bunch of X-Men. Vasco Georgiev did Red Hood. Sergio Cunha, some Nightwing. And then a lot of people that this is actually their first credit. I think like the youngest person working on this is like 19 or 18.
Is that legal?
Like, Yeah, I evaded the child labor laws, so just barely.
Until now. Now you're on video talking about like you're like, oh yeah, I think 18. Folks, I'll just let you know, 17 wasn't legal at all. This book's getting shut down. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just trying to get you ready because you're going to be doing a lot of press for this book. This is. I feel like that there's going to be a long tail end to this once it gets out, because this is. I think people love comics history, no matter where they fall on what kind of comics they like. I think everybody that likes comics is fascinated by its history, because it's just such a soap opera, the history of comics, you know?
I 100% agree. Well, like I said, some pages are just based on like real life stories, which are you can't even make it up. It's just too absurd. Like we have a page about how like Jim Shooter was only 14 when he got hired by DC.
Right.
So it's
talking about underage. I talked to him about that once. That would never happen today anymore. It's wild that it happened then. That's a great story to cover.
No, we do that. Like this is a love letter. I know the comic, the title is a bit of a clickbait. You know, you think like, oh, damn, this guy's doing a scathing thing, but in reality, it's very sincere. It's very heartfelt. But you know, I love comics. All I've ever wanted to do was make comics, and the fact that I do get to do them, it's a dream come true.
What was the toughest part about this? Was there like a certain story or coordinating a certain element? What ended up like being like maybe one of the biggest roadblocks in getting this made?
Dude, it's the 100 people, because it's like how do you even do that? And no, it's not only just finding them; it's also managing them and keeping on top of everyone. Because if you're like the editor/writer, everyone's
so
only
coordinate.
Yeah, everyone's only working as much as you are working, you know?
Right.
And you can delay the whole thing just from slacking off. So in the first few months, I had a lot of sleepless and burnt out nights, but eventually it all pittered out, and I managed to get it all nailed down. And I'm very satisfied with the end result. And everyone has been a fantastic like collaborator. And
I think you should be very proud. I mean, you obviously doubled your original goal. So I think that that's a great initial success. And I think that this, like I say, I think that this is a story that'll have a bit of a tail. You know, it's not just this one drop. I think that you know, this is an interesting idea that will get some further attention for everybody.
Well, I really appreciate you saying that. Like I see, you know, a lot of people definitely, like you said earlier, comic history, that's a thing. If you're really into comics, this is like a gold mine. But I also think like the book's a great jumping on point, you know, because it's not like a history textbook. We're very much having fun with learning. So it's like,
I get that.
Yeah. So it's like you read the thing and then you're like, oh, what is this? And then you dig a little deeper, and then it's just a gateway. My partner, who's not really into comics, they proofread it for me, and then they're like, is this real? And then they're like, you know, and it's just fun to see someone see the spark in their eyes when they're like, whoa, like that's so cool. But cool. With your permission, is it okay if I like shout out some other things I've worked on in the past in case nobody has ever heard about me?
Go for it. But yeah, let's do it.
We'll do it quick. We'll do it quick. Okay. So I made Midnight Western Theater with Scout Comics. It's a goth cowboy book about a young girl and her foster mom, as the demon that took her mother's soul has returned to take the daughter's soul. Dun, dun, dun. So that's that one. That wrapped up with Scout Comics, and I am no longer with Scout Comics. I can proudly say that. And then the other one is The Blackout Bombshell. Was published with Sumerian Comics. This was about alcoholic detective, 1960s. He's hired to solve a case during a blackout. So when he sobers up, when he sobers up, he doesn't remember who hired him or what he's supposed to do. So he's got to reverse engineer everything, but he's already in trouble. And I'm proud to say our final issue had a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. So like that was a dream come true. Yeah.
Louis, congratulations. That's a feather in the cap.
Thank you. I love that. I love that story. It's so fun. If you like comedy noir, psychedelic noir, that's the one to go for.
And where would they find that? Where would folks find that?
That would be on the Sumerian Comics or Massive Publishing website. You can
Massive
find it if you
Publishing,
want to
got
get
it.
some comics.
Perfect, dude. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chris.
That's
This is a
amazing.
wonderful thing you're doing for everybody. I'm seeing a lot of great people working, like hustling tonight, and it's awesome.
It is a hustle. If I can help boost the signal, I'm happy to lend that little amplification. So good, continued success. Thank you very much for sharing, Lewis. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care. I'll give Serkotron a moment to get ready because Serkotron, I'm about to pull you up here.
Do it.
Here he is.
How's it going?
Misfits, huh?
That's
Look at
right.
that. You're ready to rock.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
What are we talking about tonight?
I have 2 ongoing comics projects right now. I do. But basically, the big thing for me is just Instagram right now.
Okay. What's the
and
Instagram? I'll pull it up.
It's just Serkotron on Instagram. Yep, I follow you, so it should be easy to find me up there.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull that up. I want to take a look at this. Oh yeah. I think I've seen some of your work before. I've seen this because you do follow me, don't you?
I do, yeah. No, and a couple years ago when they were doing when Cartoonist Kayfabe was doing Kayfabe-tober, they spotlighted some of my stuff. So that was a bit of a it was awesome. It was a bit of a signal boost.
Love that. Huge fan of Bowie, actually, and
Yep.
Lou Reed too.
Yeah, no, big Lou Reed, Velvet Underground guy. So
That's so cool. I like this. Yeah. Wow. On this side, especially, I feel like I just see a little bit of Charles Burns, those thick blacks. I don't know if that was an inspiration, but I feel like I see something there.
yeah, Wally Wood,
Oh,
I guess would
look
be
Black Sunday. There's a good movie. Italian horror.
Yeah, it's a big Italian. I love Italian Gothic horror. I love spaghetti westerns. I love giallo. I love all that shit, dude. Yeah. So, all right. You're doing the job for me. I'm just gonna sit back. I'm just gonna hang out.
Yeah, just hang out while I look at
Dude,
your artwork. If you could just while I look at it.
I'll just hang out. Oh, there's Danzig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that you are posting process videos. It's so funny. We live in a world now where because of the advancement of not just like AI, but the ability to do so much digitally, that a lot of artists have started sharing more process videos.
Yeah.
Like in a way, I feel bad that some artists feel the need to prove it, but on the other hand, I love process videos. So
No, I love it. And Clip Studio has an amazing screen recording stuff. And by the way, that Danzig one,
oh yeah,
I did that in a half hour before I drove to see Danzig in Chicago, by the way.
Oh, really?
That was yeah. And it's based on a still from the Murnau silent film Faust. So I don't know if anyone's a big German expressionism guy, but
I am. You're
dude.
To me. You're speaking to me.
No, seriously. So that's
This
kind
is
of
great.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we got a little bit of a realistic Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Nope.
This is great stuff, man. So
Yeah.
but you said that you've got some actual comics that you put out.
I
too?
do. I have 2 ongoing strips. One of them is a there's my EC homage.
Oh wait, and down here, sorry, that was this one. Yeah.
No, you had it. No, you were right.
Okay. Yeah, I was just looking up here.
But so one of them, it's my ongoing spaghetti western. It's called Somewhere in the West. Here's a rare print version that I have.
All right.
Can we even see?
That?
Just through mixam.com.
What's it called one more time?
Somewhere in the West.
No,
And
no, I know that. I meant where did you print it as?
Mixam, mixam.com.
I don't know them, but that's all I was just curious about.
Yeah. No, so because I did a complete 18-page story, and I'll be serializing that on my Patreon. And I just wanted to see what it looked like in print, and this is what it looks like. So there's my. Whoa! There we go.
And you decided to do some spot colors for your lady there with the red hair.
That is correct. So there we go. And Yeah, and this is a complete story. Here we go. See if we have some more. Look, backgrounds, everybody. Look at that.
You have quite a bit of backgrounds, to be honest. I'm impressed.
Thanks.
No,
yes.
I think that it's such an easy thing for people to skip when they're doing some of their self-published comics to like focus on the fun stuff, the people or the action and stuff like that.
It's
not, and some people love drawing architecture, environments, and cars. Not everybody does. Some of that's the work part, but I think it really does help set the
Here you
scene.
go. Here's some violence. Here we go. Let me see if I can square it up with the. There you go.
Like
There's my main character snapping someone's neck. Whoa.
Dude,
there
that's
we go.
amazing.
But yeah. So this is like I said, if you like hard boiled, and this is literally the name of the story is hard boiled spaghetti westerns. I'll be serializing that.
Yeah.
And then I also have a science fiction like strip because I'm a huge Flash Gordon, Alex Raymond guy.
Oh yeah, Alex Raymond's incredible. Not enough people remember him these days. Yeah.
No, it's insane. No, he's my favorite artist of all time. I've got Flash Gordon and I've got it in 4 different printings. And when Mad Cave does their new reprinting, I'll have it in 5. So
that's amazing, man. You are a real fan, man. You probably know more about Alex Raymond than I can tell.
Dude.
He's great. He's really good. Like,
and then
so
here's
influential to so many. Oh yeah. See, all I have to do as soon as you're talking about something is scroll like a page or two.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Look at
Again,
this panel and this panel.
You're making this easy.
I see some big Alex Raymond.
Yeah,
stuff.
dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I said, and this is I wanted to do this more of as a daily strip. So, because I love Roy Crane and Captain Easy and Buzz Sawyer and all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, no, this is Oh, you're looking at this is the Kayfabe Tober stuff that I was telling you about right there.
Yeah. I was looking at that for a second here, but let's see. Somebody says that they want to follow this, so let me bring that up one more time.
Oh, all right.
What did I just
Goodness.
do? There we go. Yeah, Serkotron, folks. Serkotron. He's got some beautiful, beautiful art.
Yep. And so, like I said, if you just go to patreon.com, I'll start serializing. I've got an 18-page story that I'm going to do. I'm working on the next Western story right now.
Okay.
Lots of explosions, lots of violence.
And you're going to do that like primarily digitally on Patreon?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then if it like if you finish this story, you might like do some more print?
Absolutely. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Do you go to any conventions? Have you tried any of that yet? Just curious.
No, I'm a nobody. No, we went from all these like I have Kickstarters. Mark Wade worked with me, and now I'm just like I'm lo-fi. I'm a nobody.
Well, don't diminish yourself that much. I like what I'm seeing quite a bit. I don't just say that.
Thanks, man.
I try to like give honest opinions about what I look at, and I like this. What area of the country are you in? I don't need to dox you and say
no.
What ballpark area are you in?
I'm in the Midwest. Yep.
I'm just trying to like think of like conventions and stuff around there that
would
be good for
Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Chicago's the big one.
Yep.
Like for instance, I lived on in the DC area for a long time, and we had an amazing convention there called SPX, the Small Press Expo.
Right, of course.
At a convention like that would go over so well. It's all about finding the right venue and the right audience. But I think you're doing a great job building a following online like this.
Yeah, man. No, and I just want to say personally, I want to throw my hat in for your werewolf assault on Precinct 13.
Oh, you've
story.
heard me pitch that once or twice. Yeah, I would like to do that someday.
No, because I you should. No, I love horror, but I don't have any horror ideas of my own. That's why I do Western and sci-fi. So when you're talking about this werewolf story, and of course I love The Howling by Joe Dante. Yeah. And of course, huge Danzig fan. He's my huge Danzig fan right here. So I'm just like, dang.
I can see that.
Well, when you pitched it as like it's like a werewolf John Carpenter movie, I was like, bro, did you twist my arm? Are you kidding me? Like, seriously.
Look at this. So a lot of people are saying some really good stuff about this, man.
Serko. I like that. Serko.
Yeah, that's your nickname, Serko.
Yes, Serko.
Serko.
There you go.
That sounds kind of Italian.
Serko. It is. It is. Even though it's Turkish. I'm Turkish, but technically.
Oh, are you? All right.
Yeah, that's where the Serk comes from. Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Feels like
So-
there should be something there, like
Yeah.
the Turk.
Yeah.
Serkotron.
I don't
Right.
know.
I like what I'm
Yes.
seeing, man.
Yep.
It's fun to talk to you.
Absolutely.
So your current project on Patreon again is which one?
It's both. I alternate.
Oh, you're alternating.
I alternate. So I do a page of the Western, and then I do a strip of the sci-fi, and I alternate back and forth, and I'll be posting that kind of weekly on Patreon.
Do you like doing it like sort of all yourself? Do you like that control, or would you enjoy like collaborating, do you think?
I mean, again, props to Clip Studio because I get to do everything myself, and it's so easy. So I've really never collaborated with someone else. So that would be interesting to see. But I like using the font that I use. I use a font that's based on, of course, the EC Leroy lettering because.
Yes, I can
To
tell.
me,
I can tell.
yeah, because to me, it's just like that's what comic lettering just should look like. So.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
that's fair. Yeah, if you don't know, folks, when DC Comics did their lettering, they had a very unique guide, and it really it was not it didn't have a hand lettered look. I'll say that it didn't, but it was its own look, and yeah, I like what you did there.
Well, thanks. I like what you do.
Yeah, this can just become a little love fest for 20 minutes.
Let's do it. Why not? Yeah.
Hey, Serkotron, thank you very much for jumping in and sharing with us, folks. I think that this is a decent page to start with since there's some other links here. This is on Instagram. We've got Serkotron, pretty straightforward spelling. Anything else you want to mention before I take a look at somebody else's work?
Hail Satan. I guess we're good.
Right. Well, that is the main reason we're here. I almost forgot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's very kind of you to share. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Thank you.
I hope you find just a bigger and bigger audience as you keep churning out some nice art.
Yeah, man. Thank you again, man. Have a good one.
Stay. I don't know what. Stay cool. Sure.
Nice. See ya. Bye.
All right. We've got some people that have been waiting quite a while. I'm gonna invite in. Looks like the name is Rotalin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We're gonna go to a dramatic close up here. Ready? Here we go. Am I saying that one right? Rotalin?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Do you
Funny
hear me?
Books and Giggles.
Yeah.
What should I call you? I think you.
Right.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead and try one more time because I think it might be frozen. I can't hear anything. Can anybody else? I feel so bad. Rotalin has been waiting very patiently, but it looks like everything froze. I'm gonna tell you what. Here's what I'm going to try to do. Like this is just the simple IT thing. I'm going to back you out and invite you back in. Let's see if that works. Okay, let me just see. We'll try this again. Here we go. Forget everything I said for the last couple moments. We're going to invite in Rotalin. Are you there, Rotalin? Oh, I feel terrible, folks. It's just not connecting. I don't know what to say. If you can hear me, I won't kick you out of the studio or anything. Just send something in the private chat if you get a good connection, and I'm gonna have to come back to you. Let's see. There's a couple more people in here. Let's see. Hold on one moment. We'll try. Jason Lego Inc. Are you there? Let's see. Jason Lego Inc. and Ink and Drink Long Beach. You're on mute, but are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Hey Jason, how are you? I've heard of the Ink and Drink in Long Beach.
Have you?
Absolutely. I've definitely. You guys put some stuff on Instagram, don't you?
We do. And you put our book out there, the Sewer Boys.
Sewer Boys. And you also did the Rhino Juggernaut book.
This one right here. This is the
Horned African horn man.
one. Yes. Yes.
I know you guys. What's up, Jason? How are you?
Dude, we're doing well.
You got some
bedtime
family or
over
visitors?
here.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Erwin said that you guys were coming on, so I wanted to hop on real quick and just share our new project, if that's okay.
Yeah. What's the newest one? Is the newest one Sewer Boys or something even newer?
This one is previously unannounced. So this is going to be basically our ode to heavy metal. It's going to be a large format newspaper. And this is kind of a test run, but it's going to be 48 pages.
Right.
And it's called Mass Cybernetics.
Mass Cybernetics.
Yes.
What's that referring to?
It's our own thing. We're taking it in a new direction. It's not going to be like a like a play on existing characters. It's all new ideas, all comics, big illustrations, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's complete.
That's amazing.
Too.
That's going to be in print?
It's going to be in print. The Kickstarter launches on June 1st. And I posted the Kickstarter link in the chat thing. I'm not sure.
All right. Through. Hold on. Let me jump in there and I can grab that. Yep, I see it.
Awesome.
Copy link. Drop it in here. And let's see what that does. That gives... Back it up. It didn't quite
Did
work
that not
as...
go through?
No, it might be just missing a letter or something. Let me see if I can... No, I'm sorry. It's not quite the right address. I don't know.
That's all right. Let me see if I can copy...
Sure.
My Instagram, and I will...
I'll take a look at that.
I posted a few of the previews on the close friends, so I think you should be able to see that if I get this working.
How long is Long Beach's Ink and Drink sort of drink and draw thing been going? How long have you guys been meeting?
So we have been meeting since before the pandemic. Then obviously we went online at the pandemic time, and it's just been rocking and rolling since. I think Endangered African Hornman and Juggy came out 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then now we're doing this sci-fi project, and we're also, well, I have a project, but I'm not at liberty to discuss the next one.
I used to do stuff like this myself. I lived in DC, and I met up once a month with a bunch of friends that were also just like, they liked drawing and writing comics, and we would just do jam projects together and get them printed, and we did tons of it, and it was great. I loved that era of my life, like just always printing all these anthologies or Exquisite Corpse things where somebody draws a page, then the next person takes over, and the next person did like newspaper strips. It was great. It was a great time.
Oh, that's so cool.
All right, I've got this link. Bear with me, folks. I'm going to add something here, and we're going to take a look together. There we go. So what am I looking at here then, Jason?
So this is going to be my art page, but if you want to look at the little stories up at the top, like
the reels?
No. The reels, or the
These.
circle.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, there's an Inktober 2020, it says. Is it that one?
Okay, that's not it.
Or there's Existence is Pain.
That's my.
That's pretty.
Reels. That's a
I
nice
like
one. The Mass Cybernetics stuff is going to be in the green circle with the sun.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yep.
No,
okay. Look at that. That's a nice little video, first of all, for your next meeting. We've got that. Oh, did you do that?
No, that's Dustin DeWin.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful, though, isn't it?
Fantastic. Just a couple.
Got it. Yeah, you're
nice
sharing
pieces.
each other's things. There's Metal Hurlant.
But
there we go.
This is the cover.
Look at that. I love that. Whoops.
Gorgeous.
Jump back. Yeah, man. There's some Metal Hurlant vibes there.
Absolutely. Erwin Papa did a nice little shark girl tank thing.
Absolutely. Look at that. This stuff. Is this from it too?
This is all from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's So yeah, it's a lot of illustrations, a lot of comics. We've got crossword puzzles and games.
You guys have so much talent in this group, and so many different styles, but like all of it like really looks nice. You guys are making, what a group. Oh, that's funny. It's sort of like a Conan. Oh, it's more of a mutant. Mutant from like Dark Knight.
Yeah, we gotta. Well, you gotta read it and see. But
I gotta read it. I gotta read it. Where do you guys make this stuff available? Because you guys have sent me some of this. Like, is it on Kickstarter?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kickstarter, and then we do our own orders and kind of distribute it through our own websites.
That's so cool. And about how many people go to meetings on average these days at your drink and draws?
Oh, maybe like 40, I'd say. Around 30.
That's a huge group. That is a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, we fill we go to Supply and Demand in Long Beach, California. If anybody wants to join, it's a great time, covered in butcher paper, and we all just drink and draw all over the tables.
That is so fun. That is so fun. And how long have you been joining in the fun, Jason? What year did you start?
I started in 2020, actually.
2020, 4 years already.
Yeah, it went quick.
What are you doing for this Mass Cybernetics book? Anything you can talk about?
I have a 6-page comic in the back called Star Farm. I'll start letting that out as we go, but I organize the whole thing.
You do?
This project was all mine. I really wanted, so with AI and everything coming out, it's like really weird to be an artist. And so I was like, let's kind of like parse this out and feel like, let's make something that's not AI. And that's what paper. So I was like, let's do as archaic as we can get.
All right.
While still like doing something cool.
I love that. I love working in paper and just dealing with like printers and just finding a way to make it as organic and tactile as possible.
Absolutely.
That's just something I like. What do you are you working on anything outside of the drink and draw? I'm sure that takes up plenty of time. I was just curious.
So this was a zine I did, Cobra 2099. So it's Stallone with a machine gun.
I was wondering when I saw Cobra.
Yeah, I had to bring him into the future and give him a Mac 10. But this is just a fun little zine. I did like a San Diego Zine Fest, and I wanted something. That was a great event if anybody's down south. But yeah, I just do illustrations. I do stickers and just all the normal art things. Oh, Comic Cave, yes.
Is that you?
That's me. We do creator interviews. We try to highlight a lot of books that maybe people wouldn't know about.
I love that. I feel like that's something I'd love to do, and it's just not where I started, and so now I don't always have the time for it. But I think it's very valuable and very interesting. This is the kind of stuff I like to read. Oh, Werewolf Jones and Sons. I read that book. That's a fun one.
That is.
Look at that.
Comic Cave is just totally me and two other guys, two buddies. We just get together once a week and just talk about comics. It's a good excuse for us to hang out and talk about what we love.
That's awesome, Jason. I'm so happy that you've got like this community, because one of my favorite things about working in comics when I have been able to is the collaborative aspect. I just find it very inspiring to like work alongside other artists. Sometimes you're like, oh, that guy's better, but it's still inspiring. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much, like, without the community, this wouldn't all be worth it. So it's been great.
Dude, thank you so much for sharing. We'll have to keep our eyes. So again, folks, it's called Mass Cybernetics, and it launches in Kickstarter. Did you say June?
June 1st.
June 1st. Yeah. June 1st. Hold on. Somebody here is asking you, where can I get the Cobra zine? That's a fair question.
SkullDudeJoe.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram.
There we go. And again, like we had, Skull. I'm stuttering over my name the name again. Skull what, Joe? Skull
Dude Joe.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that I stumbled over that one.
That's all good.
I just realized I've been going over 2 hours though. So I think the fact that I'm still somewhat coherent, I think pat on the back me. Thank you for being so patient, Jason. Like that's really, I love it. I love what you guys are doing. I think that the Ink and Drink crew in Long Beach is producing some amazing stuff. You've got a really special group of people right now. So I hope it lasts as long as possible. I hope you guys just continue to put out books.
Me too, dude. Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm happy to. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna try to finish up the last bit of my dinner, and I hope you have a great weekend, a productive and creative weekend.
Sounds good. We'll
Take care.
Soon.
I think that that's as good a time as any to wrap this up, but I think that that went about as well as we could expect it to go. I didn't know if I'd even get one person or if I'd get 10 people. I didn't have time to count, but we got a lot of different people, didn't we? So what I'll do is I will go in and add some chapters to this, and I will oh, hold on 2 seconds. Hold on 2 seconds. Earlier we had Rotalin trying to come in, and there were some technical issues. But before I wrap it up, let's give this another try. Rotalin, can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, can you?
Hey, I can hear you. I am so sorry that we seem to have the technical difficulties earlier. I think we're connected.
Yeah, for the moment we are. My cell phone has the inconvenient tendency to shut down when it's not the great time.
I'm so sorry. I know this is a little tricky. Obviously, it wasn't announced or anything. What should I call you? Should I call you Rotalin? Should I call you something else?
Yeah, Rotalin, one word, like Prince.
Rotalin. And what creative project are you working on, sir?
Well, I'm about to wrap my team book. It's called The Truly Believable Indies.
The Truly Believable Indies?
Yes.
I'm gonna look it up. Is it? Let's see. Where can I find it?
Well, the Funny Books and Giggles. That's my it's my Instagram account. Well,
okay, I'm gonna pull that up. Give me 2 seconds. But keep talking. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the first one hasn't come out yet, but I'm gonna put it as a free PDF because I'm not that proud about it.
No, I think that that's always a good way to get started, to get an audience. So that's smart. Let's see. I think I've got it here, and I'll add this. Is this the correct page? Are you there? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, you are here. Okay, good.
It's loading.
It seems like the connection, honestly, is still a little spotty. I feel so bad. But am I at least promoting the right page?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yes, that's the one.
Good. Okay.
So that's why there's an extreme close up, because if I'm sitting down, the Wi-Fi is not it's not that great.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sorry for the challenges. I want to be able to have a conversation. Look at this, Chester Gould inspired character. I like that. And is this your original character?
Yeah, that's Pain. That's one of the indies.
That's one of the indies. Yeah, look at all these characters. We've got Guts from Berserk. We've got Flaming Carrot. We've got Michelangelo, Toxic Avenger. I'm not sure what this one is. Is this from some sort of Sentai series, maybe?
Well, that's Kodotatsu inspired character.
Okay.
It's like it's a Japanese superhero, but it's also a sukaban that they called. They're teenage girls, delinquents.
Interesting. I don't know much about that, but that sounds like something I could enjoy.
That's a highly interesting culture.
Yeah, little girl delinquents or young girl delinquents.
Yeah,
this one's great. Look at that, folks. The Outlaw versus Dr. Wortham. That's funny.
Yeah, thanks.
that's inspired by something you might have come across on Cartoonist Kayfabe, maybe?
Yeah, well, most of these drawings, starting with the Trashman, that's last year, Kayfabe-tober.
Yup. And there we've got some of your characters. This is fun.
But I'd like to show.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got basically I'm leaning on my drawing table.
Okay.
And I have the page I'm working on right now.
Okay. Let's take a look.
God damn it. Can you see all right?
I think so. Hold on. Let's see. Is there? Yeah, I think we can see a little bit of it. What tools are you using to make that?
Well, basic HB2 pencils and markers, fat markers, fine liner markers.
Very fun.
T-square.
Yes. And so you said like mostly markers for the ink lines as compared to like brushes or quills or anything?
Yeah, I'm not that experienced with these, but I did a page. Well, I got another project. It's like an 8-ball anthology. It will be called Mixed Bag.
Okay. That sounds great. I love 8-ball. Like that was just an incredibly inspiring book. And yours is called Mixed Bag, did you say?
Yes.
I like that.
And basically it's a bunch of ideas I had that for the moment I don't see expanding to a full book. Because
will you share that on Instagram or somewhere else?
Yeah, I'd like to print it. I found a way to print it cheap. I'll print it on basically I'll print flyers of it and assemble the book.
I love that. And do you have any events or anything that you'd like to sell that at?
Well, last year I went to Exposing. I live in Quebec, so Exposing is at Montreal, and I went there and I didn't sell shit, but
we've all been there. If any of us have been in comics publishing, we've all had stories like that. I've definitely had stories of going to conventions and selling just about nothing. So we've all been there. Are you still there? I think we froze again. Oh, geez. Hello? Rotalin, I'm sorry. It definitely froze again. I don't know if you can hear me, but I think we have like frozen. So here's what I'll do. Oh, I feel so bad. I want to like just promote somebody. But here's what we can do, folks. Funny Books and Giggles with underscores underneath is definitely Rotalin's Instagram. And I think that would be a good place to get updates and potentially contact him about his next book that he's talking about, Mixed Bag. I have to imagine he'd share some either process or promotion there. That's the best I can come up with right now. I feel bad that we had like some technical issues there. But tell you what, folks, I'll have to do this again. I didn't know if it would be a success, but I feel like this is a decent success for just talking about other people's comics. And hopefully anybody that jumped on, I hope you had a good experience. And if you feel like clipping this or sharing like your portion, go nuts. Whatever helps boost your signal, go for it. I'm going to jump into the description and try to add some links and some chapter breaks. So that'll take a little while, but I'm going to go work on that right now. And thank you all in the chat room as well for just saying positive things or asking questions and stuff like that. I think that was really nice. This was an interesting experience. I'll have to do it again. I had a good time. I hope everybody else did too. Until I see you all next time, keep reading comics. Bye. We'll just wait. I'll focus on me. I'll give you a double salute. Boop. By the way, this link won't work next time. It'll have to be a new link, okay? So, but we'll do this again. Take care. Bye.